Hello?
What's up, Wayne? How are you?
I'm good, brother. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just making it, man. What are you doing?
That's all you can do, man. One day at a time. Just relaxing, man.
All right, yeah, man. It was nice to meet you, man. A couple of times that we met in Merced and in Oakland, dude.
Yes, definitely.
I was tripping out, man. You were super busy at the kickoff party, man.
Man, but like I say, the moments you can't redo that no kind of way, brother. It's just moments in time. Either you're there or you're not. The videos and pictures really don't do it justice. It's about that feeling, and you saw that in the room.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, it was cool, man, watching you work. Man, that was and you're all over the place now, man. That TV spot you had, that was really cool.
Like I said, that's just the rewards of the dedication, man. Over 28 years, man. I couldn't even dream that stuff up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it comes at you, and it's like somebody's taking notice. So all I do is just walk through the doors that opens up.
Nice. So, hey, before we get started, can I get you to do some radio IDs for me?
Sure.
All right, cool. Everybody wants you on the podcast, but I mean, it's like I can get you on the podcast this way for sure.
All right. What's up, Raider Nation? This is the Violator, and you're watching the Raider Homer channel.
Thanks, man. Hello, Raider Nation. Welcome back to Monday Nights Live. I'm Raider Homer, and I have 4 more great guests lined up for tonight's show. So, let's go over how Monday Nights Live works. It's structured like a football game, but instead of 4 quarters, we have 4 callers. We break for the halftime show after the second caller, and during the halftime show, we will hear from the viewers and Raider musicians. And this week, we're hearing Raider songs from Mike D. Chill and, of course, Raiderhead. Hey, and don't forget to get 4Dub's new album, Raider Love, Mixtape Volume 6. Alright, kicking off tonight's show is Ken Thomson, a longtime broadcaster and die-hard Raider fan. This is his first time on the show, so I'm excited to bring him to you. Alright, and the second caller is superfan Raider Squid. Man, my daughter loves his look, man, and I do too, so I'm excited to bring him on the channel and learn what he's all about. Now, after the second caller, the phone blitz kicks off the halftime show. Alright, that's when we hear from the viewers. Alright, now kicking off the second half of the show is the Mob Boss, a true ambassador of the Raider Nation. I can't wait to find out what's going on over there with Mob Boss too. Alright, now I'm excited to bring you 2-time Super Bowl champ and Raider alumni, Odis Mckinney. Man, Odis Mckinney is hard to get on, man, and I'm glad that he's coming. Alright, providing backup for tonight's show is Amy Zagalo. Alright, so be sure to subscribe to Amy's YouTube channel, Take Aim with Zags. Also, subscribe to the Captain Jack Rackham Levy's YouTube channel, and don't forget to listen to the Only Nation podcast with me and Heidi Stabbert, aka Kevlar Prom Dress, and now with T3 Raider Facts as well. So, subscribe to his channel, T3 Sports Guy, also. You can find the Only Nation podcast on all of your favorite podcasting/music apps. Also, be on the lookout for the return of the Raider Invasion podcast. Me, Cap, and Asylum recorded this weekend, so be on the lookout. It's coming. I just got to edit it and put it together. Alright. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Raider Homer channel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and right here on YouTube so you don't miss these interviews live. Alright. Blitzers, get your calls in by 8 o'clock CST. Alright, or you can give your shout outs in the live chat and I'll read those in between callers. Alright, now I'm out of patches, but they are $10 for packages like this and or $20 where there's more in the package. And as soon as those arrive, I will get that out to you. Alright, and this week's mailbag, oh man, I got Black Widow's poker chip. Woo! Hey, Raider Nation, look. That's badass, right? Hey, show your support, alright? We don't even know if she's going to make any more of these now. She might just move on to patches. Hey, Black Widow, I definitely would like to get your patch also. All right? Also, hey, shout out to Dark Phoenix. She hooked me up with the mask. Woo! I appreciate it, Dark Phoenix. Make sure you go check out her Facebook page. All right, and last but not least, of course, a friend of the show, Chucky Stubbs. All right, they sent a patch and a flag. All right, so be sure to hit up Chucky Stubbs. All right, hey, and don't forget, compliments of Polo and the Retired Players Congress, Bob Grant and them. Get you a shirt. Get your shirt. When football was football, all right, that's when they used to hit. Old school players, all right, from an old school game. All right, anyways, thanks for showing me some Raider love out there, Raider Nation. So be sure to hit up the people from this week's mailbag to get some Raider Nation merch of your own. So, with all that being said, let's get to the caller. All right, Raider Nation, here he is, Ken Thomson of SportsX Radio. Man, Ken, how you doing tonight? Thanks for coming on the channel.
Hey, listen, man, Raider Homer, let me just tell you the coolest thing, man. Not only did I just let my daughter, Kiara, listen to you jam on your guitar, which is, of course, the Bullseye guitar, my brother-in-law, Zach Wild, man, one of his models, but not only that, I went to the mailbox literally 3 minutes ago, and, of course, I'm over here in Vegas, so I'm a couple hours behind you over there. And lo and behold, what's there? I got the patch. I got the card. I got everything from Raider Homer right there in the envelope, my man. And my daughter just loved it. She goes, now that guy is diehard.
Oh, man, you know it. All right, cool. I appreciate the love, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Hey, speaking of patches, man, tell the Raider Nation about your silver and black state patch.
Oh, man, yeah, you know what's the coolest is I was about to send that off to you today, but lo and behold, I said, wait a minute, I better get Raider Homer's size because I got a silver and black state shirt that I'm going to send with it. But, yeah, that's a whole thing. It was kind of cool because when Mark Davis first came here, and I know everybody Bay Area was kind of disgruntled because, you know, looking for a new home, but at the end of the day, built him that new home that he thought that he was going to victim of circumstance. At the end of the day, it's probably the most accessible city to get to, and it's going to be a city to where wherever you are, whether you're in Austin, Texas, whether you're in Bismarck, North Dakota, if you're part of Raider Nation, when you get to Vegas, you're going to have so much to do. There's going to be so much set up here. But Mark Davis, the first thing he said when Mayor Carolyn Goodman introduced him, he walked up to the mic. He didn't even say good morning. It was early in the morning. It was about 8:30 Pacific time, and he just walked up and said, I'm going to turn the Silver State into the Silver and Black State. And, of course, Nevada, they're nicknamed the Silver State. So I was like, oh, man, that's cool. I'm still half asleep. And I was like, all of a sudden the light went on. I'm like, oh, man, that's cool. I go, but since he's already had Las Vegas Raiders for 20 years, that name reserved, I'm sure, Silver and Black State is gone. Lo and behold, called my sister. She went right on Google and boom, grabbed it, man. Silver and Black State. So got that and got the federal trademark, everything approved. And so Silver and Black State is real. And the patch is there and everything, and got the shirts and working on all this stuff. Raider Homer, I'm fired up on, Nevada having some type of, state brand. And I think Silver and Black State could be the state brand here in Nevada.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds perfect. Silver and Black State. I mean, way to, quick thinking, way to go, to jump on that, man. That was a good move, man. And the patch looks good. The shirt, the design is great, man. So kudos to you.
Well, I appreciate it, man. It's been a long time. Let me be honest with Raider Nation. I got to go way back because I'm old school now. I'm 58 now, but I've been watching Raider football since I was a little kid. But here's the thing: I grew up in Jersey, and actually the first team that I resonated to as a little kid was the Baltimore Colts, because they were the first team I ever saw play against the Green Bay Packers. As a little kid, little kids just kind of they fall in love with that first team. And this is way back. This is Johnny Unitas and stuff, going against Bart Starr and stuff as a little kid. And I just remember the Colts won the game. And I remember, because I told Raymond Chester this, and Raymond Chester, of course, played a few years with the Colts, but he's silver and black through and through. He says, like he says, once a Raider, always a Raider. But I followed the Colts for a long time, but I always had this thing with the Raiders. And I had one buddy in Jersey, Greg Stewart, was the biggest Raider fan ever, man. And he just walked to the beat of his own drum. I liked it, man. I just said, something about that team. And I ended up joining the Navy way back in 1980 and leaving Jersey. And the guy that I joined with was a big-time Eagles fan. And I'll never forget, we went back home on leave, and we left boot camp, and I had, just really resonated toward the Raiders and stuff. And ironically, the Raiders are playing his Eagles in the Super Bowl. And I remember, man, just going to he had 5 brothers, knocking on that door, Raider Homer, and his little brother David, he goes, I don't know who it is, Mom. I don't know. I had like the fake nose and glasses in my pocket, and I put it on when Dave answered the door. And they go, oh, it's the Grinch, man. They go, so I walk in there, and I had this jacket on, and as I get in there, everything is decked in green and white, all Eagles colors, everything, man. And the only thing they were drinking were Heinekens, man, because they were green and white. And I peeled off my jacket, and I had all silver and black on, man. And they're like, the Grinch, man, he's undercover, man. He's a Raider lover, man. And it's like, I remember sitting there, and they're going, man, you're the only Raider fan here. We're going to roast you. And there's about 15 family members. And then I remember Kenny King getting that 80-yard touchdown. And then, of course, my good pal, who I'm friends with, Rod Martin, number 53, coming up with 3 interceptions. How he didn't get the Super Bowl MVP, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And the Raiders just rolled, baby. And ever since then, there's always been that place in my heart where I said, I'm attracted to this silver and black team. There's something about it. And through the years, I lived in L.A. when the Raiders were there after I got out of the Navy, did my time in San Diego. But I remember, Raider Homer, this is crazy. I actually went up to L.A. when they played the Seahawks in the championship game in L.A., AFC championship game. And I went there, and it was just nuts, man. I actually got lost because we ran on the field after the Raiders won. And I had no idea how to get back to San Diego. I'd never been to L.A. before. I'd never gone up there by myself. And all of a sudden, I had to get back to L.A., and I knew nothing about how to get back there. So I saw this lady, heavy-set lady, and she had this big Vista football jacket on, red and white. And I knew that somewhere in that San Diego vicinity was Vista High School because they were a powerhouse in football. And so I went up to her, and I said, ma'am, I lost my buddies, man. I have no idea. This is back before cell phones, right? So I'm just like, I said, if there's any way, that you could take me somewhere towards San Diego, and then I'll hike the rest of the way. Not only did they take me home, I get in this van, and these brothers are pulling out Super Bowl leños, man. I had no idea what a leño was, but they're lighting them up, baby. They're celebrating that the Raiders are on to the Super Bowl. And not only did they take me close to where I live, one of the guys, after they drove to Vista, took me all the way to my home in Pacific Beach, man. I'll never forget that. It was like an incredible story. But through the years, I have just been attracted to the silver and black, and I have, just linked up with so many incredible stories, beating Cliff Branch, and I'm friends with Coach Tom Flores and all these different people, Jim Plunkett, and I did a crazy a charity event for high school football brain trauma, and that's where I met the Violator and Gorilla and all these incredible fans. And there's nothing like Raider Nation. There is nothing. I tell people, I go, I don't care what sports team you're, I don't care Manchester United, I don't give a crap. There is nothing like Raider Nation. It is the most incredible fraternity of human beings that are so passionate about their team, win or lose. I mean, you look at how many lousy seasons they've had since they won that last Super Bowl, but yet these fans are the greatest fans in the world, and I am blessed to just just that they've been cool enough to let me in to so many of their different fraternities. I mean, I'm through and through. I did a Raider podcast, we carried all the games on my station that I do my radio show out here in Vegas a couple of years ago. I bought the time to do a Raider local post-game show after every game. And whether it was Captain Jack Rackham or the Gorilla or the Violator, all these people would come on, and Plunkett, LaMonica. I actually watched the Bears game with LaMonica last year here in Vegas, and all these incredible people. God has just kind of aligned me with these people in my path. And what are the odds of them moving to Vegas, where I've lived for the last 21 years? Raider Homer, it's a dream come true for me, man.
I bet, man. You would know the odds better than I do, though. I'm not good with odds, but hey, let's get back to that Grinch, right? The Grinch, man. Talking about the Raider Nation,
okay.
You dressed up as the Grinch, right? What game was that?
Yeah, that was the last game. That was December 15th against Jacksonville, and that was the whole thing. And it was so cool because I was just talking to JT the Brick, and I saw him there in the parking lot, but I didn't see him initially. So me and my producer, Sean McCullum, we drove 8 hours from Vegas to Oakland, and I had saved up the last game because I bought season tickets last year, just some crummy ones, but then my buddy had season tickets for years and years in the Black Hole, and he had a section to where he actually had 1.5 seats because it was kind of cut off to where the fence went, but it was really a whole seat, but they didn't charge anybody for it. So his seat was next to that. So I actually had like 2 seats there. So it was incredible. So I waited till the last game at the Black Hole against Jacksonville. We drove up there, and then I didn't know if I was going to don the Grinch outfit because I didn't want to overshadow anybody. I just wanted to be part of the group. And I told Gorilla, man, I said, man, I'm going to wear the Grinch outfit. And he goes, do it, man, just do it. And I had the Raider Santa Claus hat. And when you see the Black Hole on that day, and I've sent pictures to everybody in video, everything is silver and black. Everything is silver and black, except this green-headed Grinch with a red Santa costume on, but the silver and black Raider Santa Claus hat. And people go, well, why the Grinch? And I said, well, way back when I was in Jersey, I actually took this kid's Christmas present, this Dynamite 8-track player, as I date myself. And Raider Homer, this is the greatest, man. All I had was this crappy AM radio, right? This is back in the day, right? So it's before cassettes. And so all my buddies had all these 8-tracks, Aerosmith, Jethro Tull, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, all this, great music. But all I had was this crappy AM radio. Well, my buddy got this new Dynamite 8-track player, and when you press down the thing, like the TNT thing, it would change tracks to the next set of songs. And so I thought for sure he came over Christmas night and he showed it to me, and we ended up going out and partying. And so he left it at my house. So I thought for sure he's coming by the next day to get it. He never gets it. And then all of a sudden, like 5-6 days go by. I never say anything. Then I realized, man, he has no clue he left it at my house. So I start borrowing all my buddies, all their rock and roll and everything, man, and I've got them all. So he calls me. We're going to a concert about a month and a half later, Bad Company concert at Madison Square Garden in New York City, and he's driving because he's a year and a half older than me. I'm a sophomore in high school. So he calls me, says, I'm on my way over. I go, no problem. I'm just going to shower up, get ready. I'm almost ready. So I'm in the shower. He gets there. His mom made him wear some button-down shirt, and he's like, KT, man, I can't wear this shirt, man. He goes, you got any rock and roll, hand-me-downs or anything? And I did, man. So I go, yeah, middle drawer. And I forgot that's where I put the 8-track player. So all of a sudden I'm in the shower, and I hear, you effing Grinch, you stole my Christmas. And I'm like, this is crazy, man. So the next day, I walk through the cafeteria, and there's all these no-neck linemen from our team, and, wide receiver, DBs. We were all, kind of hung together, skinny, lanky kids. But the Sal Citrullo, biggest offensive lineman, defensive lineman, went both ways. And he looks at me, and he's like, I'm walking by, and he goes, hide your shit, there's the Grinch. And I'm like... I'm like looking around, and I'm like, I don't see anybody else, but I'm thinking he's not talking to me, right? So I kept going. So then I'm leaving the other half of the cafeteria after I had breakfast, And all my boys are like, oh, hide your shit, man. There's the Grinch. The Grinch will take your stuff. And I'm like, God dang, Stewie, man, he told everybody. And from that time, Raider Homer, this is back in the day. So imagine you have that kitchen phone, and every time it rang, and I got 5 sisters, every time it rang, one of them would run to grab the phone, and then you'd hear him go, senior or junior, because my dad was Ken Senior. And so they didn't know who it was for because all my buddies' voices are changing. And so finally, after that day, nobody ever asked for Ken Jr. again. It's like, yo, is the Grinch there? Is Grinchy there? Grincho Mundo? I mean, you name it, man. And I'm telling you, Raider Homer, I've got every single thing throughout the last 35 years that you could have that's Grinch related, from slippers to hats to watches to pictures to you name it. I've got so many DVDs of the Grinch, from the Jim Carrey to the cartoon to you name it. And so I decided on December 15th, when they played Jayville, to dress up as the Grinch. Man, it was the greatest time ever. The parties were just ridiculous. I was in the Black Hole Party and just signing autographs, and it was crazy, man. I'd say just with the little kids, just taking pictures with the little kids, and they were all going to use them for their Christmas cards. It was just great, man. It's just one of those special times, man. There's nothing like Raider Nation, though. I mean, I speak from experience, and I'll tell you, for anybody that has been part of Raider Nation their whole life, you know, God bless you, because not only are the fans great, the players are the same way. I got to know Cliff Branch really well before he passed away. I actually wrote a poem and I sent it to Will Kiss, who's in charge of media relations for the Raiders, because we're doing this thing. And I wrote a poem about Cliff, but I did a Super Bowl party with Fred Biletnikoff way back in the 90s, and just a lot of really, really awesome human beings, man, that I've gotten to know over the years. Rod Martin, like I said, one of my faves, and the fans, the iconic fans. And that's the coolest thing, is the way that I met you. I mean, it's just, Raider Nation is like that, man. And as long as you're in there and you're true, and trust me, people go, hey, what about those Colts? And I go, nah, man, there's no Colts. And they know. They look at my car. I have a 2005 Mustang convertible that I turned into a Raider mobile, and then it's got the Nevada plate, which is, of course, Nevada has their own Raider plates now, and it's SB ST and the number 8 for Silver and Black State. So I have that, and I got the Raider plate on it in the front, the silver and black plate in the front, and then it's all silver and black interior. 2005 Mustang convertible, man. When I drive that thing, it's got the Vegas Strong on the back and all the Raider decals, and just nothing like it, man. You just know that people know that you bleed silver and black, and that's where I'm at, man. I never root for another team, always there, and you know, I've watched a lot of those lousy games like you guys have, but at the end of the day, I'm telling you, the glass is half full now. Raider Homer, this team, I picked them to go 10-6, and I made 2 bets already with Matt Humans from VEASAN Network, Brent Musburger's network over there, as Matt's on there, and then Brad Powers, who's a college football specialist, straight out of Vegas many times. But I bet them both $500 on the air that the Raiders go better than 8-8. I mean, that's the number they put out here as the over-under win total here in Vegas. They put out either 7 or 7.5. If you play over 7, you got to lay 140 to win 100. If you play over 7.5, it's even money. Either way, I don't care. If the Raiders go 7-9 last year, they got jobbed on the Jayville game. They wouldn't have gone for 2 against Denver had they needed that game for the playoffs at the end. So, I mean, you look at the Houston game, they had a shot to win that sucker as well. Had a couple bad games. End of the day, this team this year, I predicted they go 10-6. I'll be shocked if they don't make the playoffs. The character and the chemistry of this team and what Mayock and Gruden did last year, not only in the first draft together, but then the free agency class, when you grab Littleton and Kwiatkowski, and then you just continue. Today you signed Prince Akamora. I mean, this team to me is just, they're addressing all the needs because they needed help at linebacker. But what do? They go out and grab Littleton and Kwiatkowski right away. And that alleviates them having to use the first-round pick on a linebacker. And so people don't know who Arnett is. Well, let me tell you something, man. There's a couple things that I've done since they drafted him, and I've studied this guy. Hey, he's got talent, man. There's no doubt, because Okudah was the guy that Detroit grabbed number 3 out of Ohio State, but they weren't throwing at him. They were throwing at Arnett. Arnett did his job, man. So we don't know if he'll be there, or Mukamura, or one of these other guys, whether, Trayvon Mullen's able to live up to what he did the last few games last year. They got Demarius Randall. I've actually had Demarius in my studio back when he graduated ASU. He played well at Green Bay. He struggled at Cleveland last year, but he's still got talent. You got Jonathan Abram now, and Jeff Heath, and Eric Harris had a dynamite year last year. I mean, he was an unsung hero. He may not be a guy that's going to win combine drills, but he knows how to play football. and you still have LaMarcus Joyner, this kid Amick Robertson, too, out of Louisiana Tech. This dude's a stud as well. So we addressed everything, man. I'm telling you, this team to me is legit. Oh, and by the way, if you don't know who Carl Nassib is, trust me, this boy out of Auburn that had 6.5 sacks in limited time last year with Tampa Bay, he'll push Cleveland Farrell's ass, man. So if Cleveland struggles at all, Nassib will step right in. But they've got depth now on the defensive line, and we saw how Max stepped up last year. And then the receiving core is going to be just sick, man, on the offensive side of the ball with Ruggs stretching the field. And I'm telling you, my favorite pick, as much as I love the Ruggs pick, I'm telling you, Raider Homer, Brian Edwards is a freaking stud. This guy, the only reason this guy went 81st in the draft is because his foot was hurt last year for South Carolina. But understand, when you play in the SEC and you don't play for Alabama or you don't play for LSU or Florida or Georgia, if you're a great player on the other team, you're going to get double teamed. And Brian Edwards got doubled a lot by those good squads, but he still made big plays. Brian Edwards is 6'3", 215, and this boy can go up and get it. I'm telling you, that dude is going to be a big-time player as well. I'm fired up, man, because KC, as great as their receiving core is, we're going to be pretty damn good ourselves this year. And so Derek Carr's got all the weapons now. If he struggles, Mariota's going to step in. And if they both struggle, we're going to look for a new quarterback because you got the weapons now with Jacobs in the backfield. This team, to me, has no excuses this year, Raider.
Hello?
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, okay, yeah, you broke up. Man, you're going off. Yeah, you're fired up for sure, man. Well, let me ask you something about Tanner Muse. You listed everybody else, but that weak side linebacking spot is wide open in my mind, and I think Tanner Muse is going to be able to step in day one and take over that job. And because Mayock came out and said that even though he was listed as a DB in the draft, they drafted him as a linebacker, and they questioned him as far as what, linebacking IQ and schemes and things like that, and they said he passed with flying colors. How do you see Tanner Muse, contributing to this team this year?
Yeah, so here's the thing, because everybody, Clemson, everybody's looking at Isaiah Simmons, and he's a tweener too. So people didn't know, is this guy going to play linebacker? Is he going to play strong safety? Where's he going? Same thing with Muse. Muse is a guy, though, that really did focus in on the linebacker position. So, at the end of the day, I trust Mike Mayock more than anybody, more than Kuiper, more than McShay, any of these guys as assessing college talent to the next level. And if you look at the way that Mayock and Gruden have resonated to those teams, the big-time teams, from the Clemsons to the Alabamas to, some of the other teams at Ohio State, they're grabbing from those teams. They know those guys are playing at a very high level their whole life. Look, Tanner Muse has got some work to do. He's going to have to figure it out, and it's a different speed here in the NFL, but he's got the intangibles. So at the end of the day, when you look at the combine, and so Henry Ruggs the third, okay, the fastest guy in the combine, I have no problem taking that guy. But how many times do you grab a guy that can run like a train or jump over a house, and these guys just show flying colors in the combine, and 3 years later, they're nowhere to be found? You look for football players. Tanner Muse is a football player, and there are guys that the Raiders have kept that they've gotten. But when you think back to guys like Zach Thomas from Miami or Troy Polamalu, these guys aren't going to win anything in a combine. But hell, man, on a fourth down with the game on the line, they're going to be in the right place, right time. And that is what the Raiders are looking for. And when you look at the guys that they brought to this team where there were question marks, Richie Incognito, after the 2-game suspension last year, steps right in, 36 years old. This guy's still a stud. Next to Rodney Hudson, Colton Miller stepped up. They kept him at left tackle because they knew that Trent Brown could go back to right tackle, which is a normal position. He'd only played left tackle that 1 year prior to them grabbing him. He protected Brady's blind side. They need Gabe Jackson now, and he got a vote of confidence. They need Gabe to step up there. John Simpson's a nice pickup there. Eric Cush as well to back up Gabe. So there's a lot of talent on this team, and for the first time in probably, I can't remember how long, Raider Homer, but it's the first time that there is some serious depth on this squad. When you talk about, you're going to keep, a guy like Jason Witten, a 16-year veteran, around because you want him to tutor Darren Waller and Foster Moreau. But there's no doubt that there's guys like Nick O'Leary and Derek Carrier and even Nick Bowers that may not make the squad. That's how good and deep this team is. And for the first time, Raider Nation is going to look and say, wow, We got some players. Not only do we have Josh Jacobs, we got Lynn Bowden Jr., who's a guy that, he can throw it, he can run it, and he can receive it. Devontae Booker comes in. This guy can go off tackle. They gave an extension to Jalen Richard. This guy's one of the better receivers out of the backfield, and that's the way I like to use Jalen. Little flare passes because he always makes the first guy miss. You got Maurice Hurst and Jonathan Hankins you picked up. You grabbed Malik Collins from Dallas because Marinelli comes over, and he also grabs Jeff Heath. So two defensive players that fleece the Cowboys. Look, you can have Amari Cooper. I like Amari Cooper as a nice player, but at the end of the day, people scrutinized Gruden big time when Khalil Mack when he was traded to the Bears and when Cooper was traded to the Cowboys. And I understand you don't ever want to lose a guy like 52, man. The guy's just heart and soul a Raider. But at the end of the day, you would have had to give 35% of your salary cap. Remember, there's 53 players. 35% of your salary cap would have gone to Mack, Carr, and Cooper. And you just can't do that because there's no way with 65% of the cap that you're going to be able to keep 50 other guys happy. You're just not going to be able to do it. So look at it now. As great as Mack was his first 5 games with the Bears, he struggled mightily after that. So I know it gets doubled up sometimes, but at the end of the day, we made the right moves. And I'm telling you, the glass is half full for the Silver and Black.
So do you think we have a better roster on paper this year than we did at the start of 2016?
Oh, big time. Huge. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, when I look back, and that was a pretty good roster. When you look at the depth now, here's the thing. If Carr goes down, look, Mariota was a starter, and Mariota thought he'd never lose his job. He thought when Tannehill went in, that was just a shakeup. He was having a tough little stretch, but he thought for sure he'd get a chance to get back in there. What Tannehill did is what Carr needs to do. Tannehill runs with purpose. When Tannehill tucks it and runs, he doesn't look to get out of bounds or slide. He looks to take on that first guy. He knows he's big enough. Look, Derek Carr is not slow. Derek Carr can get outside that tackle box. He's got a good arm. He's a basketball player, too. He's got agility. But since he got hurt a few years ago, he's been gun-shy. And he's been the last couple games last year because he was being scrutinized. He ran. He got that first down against Jacksonville. We got screwed because they called the ball out of bounds. If they let that ball stay, inbounds, goes to the 2-minute warning, they're only going to have max Jacksonville 38 seconds to go to get that ball and drive downfield, not a minute 18 like they got it with. So, but that's the thing with Carr. If he can get outside the tackle box, make plays, don't just be a sitting duck. You've got Josh Jacobs now as far as, play action. You've got an Alec Ingold solid fullback on a 4th and half a yard. He's another great blocking back for Josh. And you've got, gosh dang it, you got Darren Waller now, 90 receptions, only 3 touchdowns. But that's what Jason Witten will do. He'll teach him how to work it inside the red zone. He's going to teach him how to use his body inside the red zone to ward off the defenders and get 10 or 11 touchdowns. It's going to be, I'm telling you, this is depth the Raiders have not had. And I'm telling you, 10-6 is not out of the realm of possibility. And you know what? If things go their way, they could even be better than that. But the schedule's not easy because you got 5 East Coast games, although you open with 1. So I'm not worried about that. And then you've got the Monday night game, the opener here against New Orleans to open things up that second week of the season. Yeah,
man, I was looking at the schedule. I got us at 10-6 also. I think that this roster, it looked like, last year they set the bar high in 2019's draft, by drafting such great players that came in and contributed day one. But, Ruggs can do that. I'm thinking Muse can. But look, and you're saying Edwards. But it looks like a lot of these guys, man, the pressure's not on. It's now we're just like loading up and not rebuilding almost, even though we're kind of still in the middle of a rebuild. But, yeah, I mean, we are loaded up right now. And I'm excited to see. I got us going 10-6 also.
There you go. And you never would have thought Hunter Renfrow. When you see Hunter Renfrow in Hard Knocks, this guy takes off his equipment. He looks like, he's like in junior high school, man. Are you kidding me?
Well,
but that dude is tough as can be.
I've been saying that
he's fast, man.
Yeah. I've been saying he's the next Fred Biletnikoff, and now Ruggs got that Cliff Branch speed. So, sometimes you don't want to compare players, but you know that John Gruden learned from Al Davis, so he sees the same thing. So I'm excited to see what those two can do. Now, what's going to happen with Tyrell Williams, he's definitely going to become the number 2.
Tyrell will for sure be the number 2, and he has no problem with that. They knew he was a 2 when they grabbed him, but, the problem is you build the whole playbook around AB last year.
Yeah.
The problem being is like once he left, they didn't have a long time to, reorganize everything because Brown was either going to be, part of the receiving or part of the deception on almost every play because he was that type of weapon. Unfortunately, the guy's, he's got a screw or two loose. So, it is what it is, but he set us back. And I give the Raiders a hell of a lot of credit. If you'd have told me they'd be sitting at 6-4 playing Kansas City for first place, I'd have been like, you're nuts, man. But somehow, some way, that's what the position they were in. They lost a couple tough ones down the stretch, but at the end of the day, they got some experience. And you know what? They're still under the radar. And you can tell. You know why? Because people are still picking them to go 7-9. And those people don't know jack, man. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to not only – I don't even worry about the money. The money's just going to be gravy. But I can't wait for this team to go, 10-6. If they go 9-7, I'll live with it. But I have no doubt that this team will be over 500 unless they get decimated with – the great thing is, not only do they have all these guys that they grabbed this year during free agency and on the in the draft, but remember, Jonathan Abram only played one game last year. That dude, we know that dude can flat out play.
Man, this is why I love listening to your show. Hey, and with saying that, dude, the Raiders have had some great broadcasters such as Bill King, Greg Papa, and you were talking about JT the Brick earlier. Tell us how you got into broadcasting.
Oh, man, way back when in the Navy, this is crazy, man, because I was on an aircraft carrier. I suckered my buddy into going with me. Craziest thing, I had to take my GED because I needed a diploma, and I hadn't even finished. I was, going into senior year, and so my buddy's like, all right, I'll take you to Ocean County College in Central Jersey. So he's there, and he asked the lady, he goes, well, how long is this going to be? How long is it going to be? She goes, about 4.5 hours. He goes, well, what the hell am I going to do for that long? She goes, well, take the test. So he took it too. He ends up passing. Here he is. He's going into the senior year. He goes, well, what am I going to go for, man? I already got my diploma, man. And so it was great. I suckered him into going in the Navy with me. We went in together, and we were both bosun's mates, which is basically glorified janitors. And so he cross-rated into data processing, got into the computers. And so I'll never forget, someone said, hey, the sportscaster on the carrier, understand this is a floating city of 5,500 guys. They said, this guy's leaving, man. They said, you ought to try out for that sportscaster job. I had no idea. I went in there. They gave me a 20-question quiz. I got 19 of them right. I think I missed a ladies track and field question or something. And rest is history, man. I got the job there. And then I got out, and I ended up moving up to L.A. I actually did a show with Bob Golick. And real quick, I'll tell you, Bob Golick played next to Howie Long for several years. And this is the best, man. Golick goes over to the Raiders as a free agent, leaves Cleveland as a nose tackle. So Howie Long doesn't like him, because all of a sudden he's making more money than Howie. And it's not, and Bob goes, what's your problem, man? And Howie goes, well, I don't know. I don't get it. I have no idea how you're making more money than me. And Bob says, well, it's not my fault, man. You're locked in a contract with the old man, and he ain't renegotiating anything. He goes, and I just happen to come in at the right time. And so, Howie really was standoff. And then Bob was also an All-American captain with Joe Montana at Notre Dame, and also a heavyweight wrestler, All-American heavyweight wrestler. So Bob goes to Howie, he goes, or maybe because I went to Notre Dame. And he goes to Howie, and he goes, where did you go? And Howie goes, well, I went to the Notre Dame of the East. And Bob goes, you went to a basketball school, bro. You went to Villanova, man, please, right? So anyway, so then Howie's like seething, man, but he's still keeping his cool. So anyway, the last day of practice, this offensive lineman, I don't know who it was, which one it was, offensive lineman for the Raiders, kept giving Golick the business because he was a free agent. Like he'd step on his hands with his cleats in practice, all this crazy stuff. So finally, the last day, Golick had it, man. And he went, and after some drill with his dude, like I forget, he just kind of gave him a knee or whatever. Golick just went over, turned around, picked the dude up over his head, and threw him down on his knee, man. And just they went at it, man, and it was it. And Howie didn't like that guy. So whoever it was, I don't know who the offensive line was, but Howie didn't really like that guy. So then he really liked Golick, because Golick just took out this dude that he didn't really like, man. So it's kind of crazy. Look, end of the day, Raider Nation's going to be in it against anybody else together. But sometimes there's a little animosity with some of the guys you're going up against in practice all the day. But it was kind of a cool story. And I remember Golick, man, just he had some great stories. And then Howie'd come on the show once in a while, but just some good ribbing and just some great stuff. But that was the best, man. He goes, Howie's like, I went to the Notre Dame of the East. And Golick's like, you went to a basketball school. You went to Villanova.
Yeah, that's pretty
cool. It's just the best, man. Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, look, I appreciate you coming on the Raider Homer channel, dude. It's a privilege, man, and an honor, dude, to have you on here, man. So tell the Raider Nation how to find you on social media and where they can listen to your show.
Yeah, there you go. You can go right online and you can listen, sportsxradio.com. There's a live link there. If you're ever out in Vegas, I mean, you can pick it up pretty easily. As far as 720 on the AM side, 101.5 on the FM side, it's KDWN, K-Dawn. If you remember that, you can download the free app, Google Play or iTunes. Shows are archived. So if you go to the sportsxradio.com, the next morning or 11:30 p.m. every night, Monday through Friday, Pacific time. I've got that archive up, and if you follow me on Twitter at SportsXRadio, I'll be able to shoot that right out to you right there on your Twitter handle. That SoundCloud version will get right to you right via Twitter. But you know what? You also can at SportsXRadio.com. If you need anything, you call me. If you need to get something on the air, especially you, Raider Homer, anybody from Raider Nation, you need something out there, whether it's something, of concern personally, like for a family member or whatnot, all you have to do, Ken at sportsxradio.com, and you'll find me.
Man, I appreciate it. And I will take you up on that offer, man. And let me know how I can help you. Any way I can, I will do it.
Yeah, and shout out to, look, my brother-in-law is Zach Wild, Black Label Society. So if anybody's got him coming in town,
my favorite band of all time, and I'm not even lying.
There you go. What are the odds, man? So if you got, and I sent Zach your solo there, and he thought it was pretty impressive, man.
Cool.
So and my daughter loved it because you had the Raider Homer mask on, the head on, and everything. And you didn't miss a beat, man. And she goes, "Can he see in that?" I go, "Honey, when you play guitar like that, you don't have to see. You know where everything is. You know where all the strings are." So it was just awesome, man. But if anybody's wants to go to a Black Label Society concert, if I can do anything for you, all you have to do is hit me up on Twitter at SportsXRadio or at Ken Thomson 87. Remember, there's no P in the last name, but you'll find it at Ken Thomson 87 or at SportsXRadio, and I will accommodate Raider Nation for sure.
All right, appreciate it, Ken, and I'll give you a call. All right, brother?
You be blessed, my brother. I appreciate you, Raider Homer. I can't wait to connect, whether it's there in Austin or out here in Vegas, my brother.
Likewise.
All right, God bless. Be good.
God bless. All right, Raider Nation, Ken Thomson. Y'all make sure you find him on social media and listen to his show on SportsX Radio, man. I listen to it all the time, man. It's a really good show. He knows what he's talking about, and obviously he knows the Raiders, man. Check him out on Facebook, man. You'll see all the pictures he takes with Raiders, Mark Davis, everybody. It's great. He's a great Raider fan, and it's an honor to know him. All right, let's take a look at the chat line. The General's in here. How's it going, General? T3 Sports Guy, how you doing? Raider Squid, hey, I'm about to call you, brother. Raider Moore, Jason Hunter, what's up, bro? Who else we got in here? Don Webb, how you doing, bro? And Aaron Cortez, what's up, man? All right, Raider Nation, I'm running a little behind, so let's go ahead and get to Raider Squid. All right, Raider Nation, here we go. Raider Squid, thanks for coming on the Raider Homer channel, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me on, Homer.
Hey, man, no problem, no problem. That's what this channel is all about: is bringing on, members of the Raider Nation and sharing their stories.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and so, this is your first time on the channel. So, as always, I want to find out, when you became a Raider fan. So, share with the Raider Nation when you became a Raider fan.
Honestly, it was around, like, the 2000s. So, right before that, fucking Brady hit. We'll leave it at that. The Brady hit. But it was the colors. Being honest, of being a kid, that silver and black kind of just popped. And it stuck with me ever since.
Yeah, man. Well, who was your favorite player coming up as a kid?
Charles Woodson.
Woodson.
That hit was kind of embedded in me. Like, it made me a Raider fan.
Yeah, man. I remember in '98, man, being a kid and running to school to get the paper to find out if we drafted Charles Woodson. I was so excited we drafted him, man. And, he became a badass Raider, man. I was glad when he came back, He helped out that team, get to the playoffs, be ready to get to the playoffs in 2016,
That heart he gave and still gives to the love he has for the Raider Nation. Like, obviously, yeah, he was a Packer. He got his ring, which he deserved. There is no doubt that Woodson's the definition of the once a Raider, always a Raider.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, he's a consummate Raider. Oh, yeah. All right, man. Well, cool, man. So, who inspired you to become a super fan?
So, honestly, a big part of it was, I'm military, so I moved around a little bit. Got lucky enough to get stationed in San Diego. Ended up at a little place I will forever love, Christie's in Point Loma. So, a lot of you guys familiar with San Diego probably have fond memories of Christie's. So, really, it started there. Meeting up with the Booster Club in San Diego, making those connections, meeting a lot of the Nomad guys, attending my first blackout party there, meeting Crusader Raider back in 14 or so. He was down in San Diego, Gorilla. It's Christie's. If you know San Diego and you know Raider Nation down in San Diego, Christie's to me will forever be kind of that iconic spot. I'm literally sitting in my chair that I used to sit in for 4 or 5 years, like religiously every morning, 9 o'clock. I am there. Don't matter if we play at 7 or we're primetime game. I was there at 9 for my steak and eggs.
That's cool.
So it kind of evolved from there, building that family, seeing, like Ken mentioned right before, he mentioned the family that the Raider Nation has, and that's kind of where it really instilled on me, like, damn, this is more than just a team. It really is a family. So,
yeah,
got busy with work.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So I got busy with work a little bit. Came up with the idea with Squid. I mean, being military, kind of an easy tie. Also, cheesy little tie to Rocket Power. Squid was the new kid on the block. So growing up, I felt like I was kind of the new kid on the block. So it was that connection to me. So yeah, the idea started there. Found the mask. Had a friend of mine help me design it. Did a little bit of moving. Ended up blessed and ended up being in Naples. So I was actually just coming from a overseas tour out of Naples, Italy, and I got to go to the London games. So 18, 19, and that's where I was like, all right, cool, I'm doing this. So 18 really is where Raider Squid. It was my first time going over as Raider Squid to London, thanks to a lot of help from Crusader Raider. Who else was it? Black Widow, El Resendez, a lot of people. I mean, go on and on about the amount of people that I've contacted. Captain Jack, big, good dear friend of mine, in contact with. So yeah, that was the start of Raider Squid.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I saw that picture of you in London with Polo, Joker Raider, El Resendez, and Crusader Raider, man. Damn, that must have been fun to go over there and see them block out Khalil Mack like the sun. You know what I mean? That was a great win for the Raider Nation, man. Can you imagine the uproar in the Raider Nation if Khalil Mack would have just dominated us?
See, that was another part of my favorite thing. Like, obviously, watching that game and being there, we didn't see that. We saw the opposite. I think Mac may have touched Carr once. Like, my favorite part, and I'm not going to lie, having a blast out there on top of the experience of hanging out Crusader rated, the entire Silver and Black Silver and Black UK, Sweden, the Black Hole Germany.
Yeah.
I'm a huge soccer fan, so being able to chant or sing to the Bears fans, "You came a long way just to lose." Man, that was so good. Like, that redemption, especially because Josh Jacobs went off that game.
Yeah.
Like, sigh of relief.
That was a great win, man. That was a great win. I was really worried about that, man, because, the schism was real in the Raider Nation when Khalil Mack got traded. But, man, we shut them out, and then that started to shut the door on all the naysayers on the Khalil Mack trade. And now here we are where we're like, oh, wow, we got a really decent roster. And as you were mentioning Ken's call, he feels it's better than the 2016 roster with that had Khalil Mack on there. So I'm inspired, man. I can't wait to see what goes on this year,
And, I mean, I agree with him 100%. Like, it really is. Love Mac. Absolutely love Mac. Was okay with what's his I forgot his name. Cowboy receiver.
Mari Cooper. I call him Pooper.
I was all right with him. But if you see what Mayock and Gruden are doing, they're drafting a certain type of players. It's not necessarily a by name. It is, do they fit the type of football that Chucky and Mayock are putting together? A lot of character in these players that we're picking up, and it's starting to show a lot.
Oh, yeah, man. It's what, I've been saying it. Ken Thomson said it, too. They're getting football players. Of course, all these players are playing football, but football players, they're drafting because, they're the type of players that, spend a lot of time in the film room, more than required or more than asked of. Those type of players that want to win that want the team to win, that put the team before their brand even, which is a big thing in the branding age. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. In Mayock, I trust. I cannot wait to see it, man. I got Tanner Muse stepping in on the weak side and showing everybody that he can do it, man. So, I'm excited. We'll see what happens.
And, I mean, again, like Ken mentioned it, we got Abram, really a rookie this year. Like, again, going back to those rookies, the heart, I think, what was it? That first Hard Knock episode when you see Abram Farrell going up to the fan base, like, they get it. This isn't another organization. This is the Raider Nation. Like, right. you embrace the fans. You have us on your back. You have us supporting you. I mean, there is no love like the Raider Nation love. Like, it really is a family.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Hey, and speaking of family, man, my daughter loves your Raider Squid patch, man. I showed her my Raider Homer patch, and I was like, baby girl, I showed her your patch, when I got it, right? But then I'm showing her my patch afterwards. I'm like, baby girl, we're going to put this patch on your jersey, right? And she's like, okay, Dad. And we're going to put the Raider Squid one on. I was like, okay, baby girl, whatever, man. So, I mean, that's a great-looking patch, dude.
I appreciate that. That was a big so that was worked a lot by Raider Penguin. So shout out Raider Penguin, who's
Sammy.
I mean, put up a huge he put in the work to get me those patches. And then my cousin Luke, who really did, I had a little basic design for Squid and he upgraded it, so he's able to help me out a lot with coming up with that Raider Squid logo that I'm using now.
Yeah, man, it's a great look, dude. It's a unique, look. I like how it adds to the pirate group, Cap, Amanda, and NorCal, but it's different. You know what I mean? It's the character from the movie that the mask portrays, right? It's a great call. It's perfect for the Raider Nation.
It honestly, I'm gonna say it's. I don't know if it's it's hard to be creative with the Raider Nation. We have so many amazing fans, which going real quick to it was Vader that it mentioned to me. He's not a fan of Superfan, and I kind of agree with him. Talked with him a few years back. I'm just a fan. There's no you want a Superfan. Hey, that's all for everybody, but I'm just a regular dude that I'm gonna go ahead and transition to as to what my cause is in a sec, but I'm just a regular guy that loves my team, loves family, and it's interesting hearing everybody's story. That was one of the big things that stuck with me when I met Polo out in London. Simple quotes, everybody, you know, great story behind the mask, and it's true. Everybody's got an amazing story. And truly what inspires me and what drives me now is this, with this Raider Squid thing, is you see on my patch, there's that semicolon. Semicolon for a lot of people is suicide awareness. What's the right suicide? Just a suicide awareness kind of a note for it. And my dad passed from a suicide while I was overseas.
My condolences.
Coming right back. Appreciate it. And it was something, it was a hard life lesson. I'm still obviously dealing with it. I'm good. Promise I'm good. And at the same time, it was right after less than a month, a good friend of mine, Devin, passed. So it's been a month. I lost a good friend of mine, my dad, and having this Raider Squid outfit, the Raider Squid it hit me. Like, this is a platform for me to, yes, I love my team, love being a Raider fan, love being part of the Raider Nation. It gives me a platform to engage with people, talking to Joker about it overseas, and it just gives me a platform to talk about it. Uncomfortable for a lot of people, and I get it. But, I mean, for me, it's a driving force. My dad isn't here. Ain't no other way to say it. Excuse my language. It's shitty. It sucks. But it's life. So you embrace it and make the best of it. And with Raider Squid, it really does give me that platform to, hey, I'm here. I'm okay not being okay. Shout out to Iron Man. Iron Man hit me up. Iron Man, good dear friend of mine, had a moment, and he hit me up. Hey, how you doing? Just on a regular conversation. If I'm not doing, I'm gonna tell you. I'm comfortable with myself enough where I'm gonna tell you I'm having a shitty day, and I know for a lot of people it's not easy. So if I can do that and put myself vulnerable and let other people see it, I'm gonna keep doing it. So.
No, I mean, yeah, do what you do, you know, to help the community, reach people that may be going through the same things that your dad went through. You know, every super fan, right, has a cause, and that's a great cause to get behind. And that's something that I would love to help you back, you know. But, like, let's go back to the super fan, right? I was talking to my boss earlier today, you know. A lot of people do not like that label, but let's clarify, right? Like, I am a Bo Jackson superfan. I flew to California and spent $1,000 on autographs because I am a huge Bo Jackson fan. I went out of my way because it's something that I really, really liked. And that's all that superfan is in the Raider Nation. It's not necessarily the person that puts on a mask and then calls themselves a superfan. It's a person that puts on the mask to elevate the game day experience, and then they do things like reach children, and then they do charity works, backpack drives, and all this and that. That's a superfan. It's not just putting on the mask. It's what's inside that you're trying to get out and share with people. There's layers, you know. Talk to Wayne, he'll tell you all about that. Why, you know, it's important to back up the community. And when you put on a mask, because you're representing the Raider Nation, not yourself, you know. You're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it to represent the Raider Nation and to plant seeds, right? To teach the future generations how to be a Raider fan, you know, because, yeah, we went through a whole bunch with that rough image coming out of L.A. or whatnot, you know, even at the Oakland tailgates, you know. But those super fans out there that I'm talking about, Wayne, my boss, you, right, Iron Man, those guys are doing something special, not only at the games and elevating the game day experience, but outside of the games all year around. You know, these Raider events, they're not just for us to go get drunk, even though I'd like to go and get drunk. It's about getting together and being a family like you're talking about, you know, and family does things to help, you know, other family members. So, you know, just stick with it, brother.
That is the first time I heard that definition, to be honest, or how you mentioned superfan. You touched on a Violator and how he talks about kind of changing that image, and I feel like that we do get a bad rep. When I talk to people, and I get the jokes, I understand them. Being up here, I'm in the, I don't know if I mentioned it, I'm out in Everett, which to wrap that up with, can't wait to meet those. Shout out the Seattle Black Hole. There's the Raider Nation. Oh, shit, let me get it right so I don't mess up their name. My bad, I'm learning. Northwest Raiders Booster Club, and then also the League of Bandits, who I just linked up with. But, no, yeah, changing that image same thing, and I know you're part of it, the elite super fans and what we're doing there. Like,
Yeah.
we can hang out with Bronco fans, Bills fans, Saint fans.
Yeah, it's like Joker Raider says, you
Yep.
hate the team, not the fans. You hate the
Yep.
team, not the fans. So you keep it peaceful with the fans, and then when you get in that game, you just raw, you let it loose, and you go off on the opposing team. And then when you walk out, you're right cool to back, being cool again with the fans,
And I think that's mentioned that. I know we're not going to go crazy into other sports because, I mean, God, it's the Raider Homer channel, but a little bit of a soccer fan, being overseas, blessed to be in Napoli. And, I mean, a big thing with ties exactly what Joker said. I'm always big on, I'll drink with you before the game. Let's not talk during the game, or back and forth. And after the game, depending on the outcome, either way, I'll give it, 30 minutes, an hour to cool down based on the results. But yeah, he touched on it perfectly. There is no, I ain't got time to hate people like it. Nah, I'm a grown ass man. I'm not going to sit here and I got a job. I like my job a lot. I'm not losing. I love y'all. I'm not losing a paycheck.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just keep a level head,
Right.
man. Because we all got to go back
Yep.
to our regular lives, and
Yep.
we got to be decent humans then too, So carry that through and through, have that approach to be just a decent human being,
And honestly, I'm over here learning. I think just a few weeks back, I'm getting into my routine up here, listening to you, listening to Captain Bear. I think you had the Double G and the homies, and they were mentioning, this whole being a super fan, it breaks you from your comfort zone, and it's something so true to me. I'm gonna be honest, like coming into this right now, it's like, oh damn, all right, cool. And I think, being with what I do, try to be organized, but it doesn't break you out of your comfort zone. And I like it. It's uncomfortable, but I like it.
All right. That's why I like it too. I love being a part of the Raider Nation, man. It's I've been a fan since 1990, but I really started to learn what the fan base is about in 2016 because for so long I felt like the only Raider fan here, but then I joined the Silver and Black of Central Texas Booster Club, and for since then until now when I've started the official Austin chapter of the Black Hole here in Austin. I've been a part of that club, and now I'm ready to kick it off and create more family ties, with the Black Hole. So it's
Congrats on that, by the way.
I appreciate
Big
it.
props.
Man. I appreciate it, man. I got lots of things I want to do. I've already reached out to St. Jude's. I'll be reaching out to Wounded Warriors. And I'm working on having a meet and greet. We're gonna do some things for like Deadpool. I'm trying to get Deadpool to come down to a meet and greet here with me in Austin. He likes to donate to, a charitable dog shelter or whatnot. And so we're gonna try to raise money for that too. Whatever we can do as a nation that, to help one another in the endeavors that we have, the things that we want to see change. That's what I'm about.
And the more you talk to people, like saying, it goes back to what Polo mentioned. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a different drive, and I'm all for everybody can eat. Depends on how hungry you are. We're here to help each other. If you need me to come down or whatever we got to do, granted, I will mention I recently engaged, so blessed as hell. She's learning that, so I got to get my permission to go. But I'm all for how can I help? And it's up here linking up with the Seattle chapter of the Black Hole. Seeing Spokane just got a new chapter as well for the Black Hole. I think they just had their first big meeting. It's fun.
Oh yeah.
Say that. Actually, real quick, I'm gonna change this on you, Homer.
Go ahead.
How do you do wearing this mask? Because that's the other thing I'm learning. It's hot under this Squid mask. So, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I still got COVID. Obviously, put a little pause to my updates. Man, I got to update my mask because it's a little hot. I see you drinking a straw. I saw you, and I was like, let me get that.
Bro.
Bought myself a few straws.
Bro, I've been learning, Resendez, we were talking about him earlier. He got a little straw that goes all the way through his gear, and that's how he drinks. But, let's get it straight, right? A lot of people don't like to call themselves super fans. Like, let's just make it clear, like, I'm more of a YouTuber. I don't wear this mask all the time. When I go to broadcast, I'll do that. But yeah, I can't. I don't know. I don't know how Sammy does it or how Mark does it, man. How does Gorilla do it? You've seen that dude just boom, boom, just on all the time. So Man, I don't know
The
how they do
energy
it.
that they
I can
bring.
barely handle this 2 hour show, bro, once a week, man. So shout out to all the super fans out there that have been doing it for 20 some odd years.
It's impressive. Like I said, 18, 19, learning to wear it a few times, putting it on here for the TNBC. Shout out TNBC also, and that family has me on a few of their Zoom gatherings. I can wear it for 20, 30 minutes. But I'm sitting here in my apartment. It's hot. I talked to Vader about it too. I can't do it. It's cool. I'm not pretty, but I'll show my face because it's hot.
Yeah, for
I'm gonna
me,
learn.
I'm
I'm gonna
just
get there
gonna show
eventually.
up to the tailgate, and
Yep.
respectfully wear my mask around the other super fans, and then and broadcast from those tailgates and/or events, and then when we're at the game, man, I'm gonna just take the mask off and go in and watch the game, man. I mean, that's what I mean. I don't ever really want to put myself up there as a super fan. I've been accepted by the super fans. Of course, we just talked about
Yeah.
a super fan as people that are diehard fans in the Raiders, for the Raiders. So in a sense, I am, but not in the sense the common idea of what a super fan is, because like those guys put in a lot of work, But I'm working my way up there. I'm trying to do more what they do, especially in the community. Like I said, that's what I'm really inspired to do. The mask, I'm not inspired to wear the mask all the time. I'm inspired to be a better member of the community here in Austin, Texas, and across the nation at large.
And I'm fully with that, like 100% agree. Like it is just in general, just like you mentioned, being decent human beings and kind of look, we're all here. I'm gonna reach out. Like I said, obviously COVID put a little pause to what I plan on doing, me getting settled in, but I'm gonna reach out. God, I mean, we'll see what happens, but we play our first preseason games up here in Seattle. So if we're allowed and I'm allowed, I have every intention of trying to link up with some of the Seattle fans. Obviously on top of linking up with our Black Hole chapter up here, but just kind of building that unity of look, we're decent human beings. Like this isn't at the end of the day, it's a game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're gonna remember what we do as a person, not Raider Homage did this or that or Raiders. Nah, I'm not. I'm about that, like you said, positive impact on the community.
Oh yeah. Look, Amy's in here. What's up, Amy? She says, regardless if they let fans in the stadium, we still need to go and represent. Amen to that.
Like I said, I'm working my way into getting connected with a lot of the fan base up here. But you guys tell me show up here. I got the mask covered. I'm not worried. I got my face protection. I'll wear it. I got another Squid like partial half mask. I can wear it too. So granted, as long as it's the Mrs. lets me, because I ain't trying to get in trouble.
Yeah,
But
don't do that.
not for that. Hey, I'm gonna be real. She might listen to this. I'm not getting in trouble. Love my girl. I'm not. Nope. I have no problem.
Yeah, you got a happy wife, happy life. That's what Callie Mark always says.
Hey, I'm not going to call myself a mandilon, but hey, I know better.
Oh yeah. All right, cool, brother, man. It's been a great call, dude. Whenever COVID settles down, dude, and you're ready to share what you're up to as a super fan and all that, dude, feel free to give me a call, and we'll get you back here on the Raider Homer channel. All right.
Hey, Ru, so to wrap up, I want to say thank you to everybody that helped me out with the patches. I actually did sell out of the first group, and it's crazy how it works out. Tomorrow, that donation is paying dividend. Gilbert's in Santa Monica is actually donating 60-plus meals to our youth. I guess they got some kind of sign-up they got set up, but at the end of the day, like I said from the get-go, I was donating, and down the road I'll continue to do it. So these meals are actually being provided tomorrow. So big shout out and thank you to the entire Raider Nation that helped me out with these patches, because I did just get a new patch, and that'll come out later. But I appreciate you having me on, Homer. It's definitely an honor. Pleasure always talking to you, bro.
Likewise, brother. Likewise. Like I said, I can't wait to get you back on here, dude. I think you're a good call, man. So hell yeah, we'll get you back on here, brother. Hey, before I let you go though, tell the Raider Nation how to find you on social media. That's what I was trying to get out. Like I said, Raider Nation, I'll get it out eventually.
It's pretty simple. I'm Raider Squid on both Facebook and Instagram. To be honest, I'll check Instagram here and there. You don't see me post too much, but I'm a lot more active on Facebook. It's Raider Squid. They pull up my name. So.
All right, cool. All right, brother. Well, like I said, man, I'm looking forward to getting you back on here.
All right, boss. Appreciate it. Appreciate the time.
All right, cool.
Love Raider Nation.
All right.
All right, bro.
Later, bro. All right, Raider Nation, there you go. Raider Squid, man. Hey, make sure you get his patch, man. This dude, he's up and coming, man. You heard him, all right? He wants to do it the right way. So, hey, back him up. Show him some support. All right, let's take a look at the chat line. Hey, everybody's favorite co-host, Amy Zagalo, is here. Make sure you're checking out her YouTube page, Take Aim with Zags. She's awesome, guys. She puts in a lot of work. Oh, yeah, and she's hot. You've heard that on her channel. All right, we got in here. Jason Hunter's still in here. The General's still in here. Don Webb, T3 Sports Guy. Woo, man, I'll tell you what, chat line. I do appreciate y'all showing up. I appreciate the viewers and the likes also, Raider Nation. Way to represent. All right, let's go ahead and get to the halftime show, which kicks off with the phone blitz.
Hey, Raider Homer, this is Houston Raider Steve. I was going to say that I heard the story that Marcus Allen told about the Super Bowl against the Redskins. He arrived at the stadium. He said most people took a cab or took a bus, and he got a rental car, and he drove up to the gate, and Odis Mckinney was with him, and he asked the lady, "Where do the players park?" And she says, "Well, the players need a parking pass." And he says, "I'm Marcus Allen, and I play for the Raiders." And she says, "Well, you can't park here unless you have a parking pass." So he went ahead and backed the car up, parked against the curb. He looked at Odis Mckinney. Odis looked at him. They got their bags, shut the doors, and ran across the parking lot to the stadium. To this day, he doesn't know what happened to that rental car. And but anyway, I thought that was a great story and everything. This is Houston Raider Steve, the historian. And if you could ask Odis Mckinney that story, it's a classic story by a classic player, and they're both classics. And you have a great day, and go Raiders.
This is T3 Raider Facts with this week's version of Heidi's High Five. Number one, part of the NFL's problem right now is that the hiring process is too rushed. How about a change in their schedule? Don't let anyone interview for a job until the Super Bowl is over. Push back free agency, possibly the combine and the draft. And do not, I repeat, do not adopt this foolish incentivizing program for hiring minority candidates. Goodell's heart may be in a good place, and I understand it, but this whole thing is a terrible idea, and I hope it gets defeated. Number two, Daniel Carlson better watch out, because here comes Dominic Eberle, a 3-year starting place kicker for Utah State with a 79% accuracy rating over his career and a perfect 167 for 167 on PATs. He was 21 of 24 in field goal attempts last year, including 3 field goals of 51 yards. If the Raiders had been able to pick him in the 6th or 7th rounds this year, they would have done so, I believe. So look for this guy to potentially be this year's diamond in the rough. Number 3, there's a lot of hate on social media being thrown toward Henry Ruggs III. I've even heard him being labeled as only the 5th best receiver in this year's draft class. Well, let me say this. He put together back-to-back seasons of 40-plus catches and well over 700 yards receiving while not even being the true number 1 guy on the team at Alabama. He finished his career averaging 17.5 yards per catch and had 2 receptions and 1 rush of over 70 yards last year. I think with the Raiders, he's going to be all right. So go take your hate somewhere else. Number 4, I love seeing pictures of the grass being rolled out on the new field tray at Allegiant Stadium. Imagine a brand new stadium, not built right up against a sewage system, and no crappy infield dirt. This may have been Al Davis's field of dreams. Now we just have to get back to business after we all get through the pandemic. Number 5, condolences to the family of former Raiders defensive back and kick returner Roger Byrd, who passed away over the weekend. Byrd was the first draft pick by the Raiders in 1966 in the last separate draft between the NFL and AFL, back when the two leagues were fighting each other over college players. I talk about Roger in more detail on episode 10 of the T3 Raider Roots podcast, which is due to hit YouTube a little later in the week. And that, my friends, is this week's version of Heidi's High Five with T3 Raider Facts.
Yarg, Raider Nation! Captain Jack here. You're on the right channel, my buddy, my pal, the dude I cuss out a lot because he's awesome, Raider Homer. Having a good time on the Raider Homer channel and all these interviews. You make sure you stick around, be here all the time for all the good content that Homer has. And make sure you check out my stuff, too. Yarg, you'll be glad you did. See y'all later.
What's up, Raider Homer? This is Dougie Doug, otherwise a.k.a. Big Loco, giving you a shout-out on me, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Congrats on the Austin chapter for the Black Hole, and can't wait to get together, my dude. Raiders.
Hey, Raider Homer. What's up, Raider Nation? This is the General calling from Command Post 559. I want to say what's up to all the Raider fans and all my Super Elite fans out there. What's going on? July 18, 2020, Raider Nation Explosion 2 happening in the Madera Fairgrounds. Get your tickets while we still have them. August 29th, 2020 in Bakersfield, California. We got the Raider Crusader Summer Kickoff. Get your tickets. They're $10. VIPs are already sold out. I got mine. I'll be there. So hope to see you guys there and have a lot of fun. Go Raiders!
All right, Raider Nation, there it is. Raider Homer's phone blitz, man. Hey, shout out to Houston Raider Steve. Thanks for the call. T3 Raider Facts always delivering some nice calls, man. Make sure you check out his channel. All right, Captain Jack too, right? Oh, man, thanks for the backup, guys. I really do appreciate it, man. The General, Dougie Doug. Yeah. Hey, brother, we'll get together, man. For sure. Hey, man. All right, so, once again, let's see what's going on in the chat line again. We're still looking at Raider Moore, Don Webb, Jason Hunter, Amy. Hey, thanks, everybody, for showing up, man, and contributing to the show. It means a lot. Now, the halftime show continues with music from the Raider Nation. So here we go.
Raider, a person who attacks an enemy in the enemy's territory. A marauder.
We Raider. Chill, baby. We Raider. Representing that ORSPC. And that Raider Nation wrecking crew. Let's go. I come from Denver, hits my city, and it's all love. But Bronco country ain't my thing, I Raider Nation hood. I keep it real, I'm 100, ain't on no bandwagon. Ain't jumping ship, you can stick it. 3 rings, I'm still bragging. Yo, got me yakking that orange and blue, it ain't cracking. Black and silver on my back, baby. Start the core, Derek's hard, our future MVP. Yo, Raider Nation, stand up and tell them who we be. Raider. Yeah. Always proud I represent my team. I've been around since 7-6. We won our first ring. We won in 80 again. We won in 83. The AFC West were 15-time division kings. 24 Raiders inducted to the Hall of Fame. But Ken Stabler should have stayed in the 25th lane. We rich in history. It's time that history repeat. So step aside before I step on you with Raider. Yeah. lot of noise.
All right, Raider Nation, there you have it, man. Shout out to Mike D. Chill and to Raiderhead for allowing me to share their music, man. Make sure you subscribe to Mike D. Chill's YouTube channel, man. He's pushing for that 100K views on that We Raider song, man. That's a great song, man. Love hearing it. All right, Raiderhead, that's the second song you heard, the SRV song. They're a Raider tribute band from Oakland, and they played in the tailgates. I'm going to be doing a documentary on them here pretty soon. I'm working on it. Also, they're getting ready to come out with a new song, so I'll be sharing that here pretty soon. I've already heard it, man, and it's badass, man. So I'm excited to bring that to you, Raider Nation. All right, shout out, man. What's up, Raider Moore, Don Webb, Amy Zagalo. T3 had to bounce. Have a good night, T3. Thanks for showing up, man. Love the calls. Can't wait to keep podcasting with you, brother. All right, so hey, man, my boss hit me up already. He's ready to come on. You know, he's been a long-time supporter of the Raider Homer channel, and he's definitely an Oaktown legend, so it's my pleasure to bring you my boss. So let's go ahead and get him on the line right now. All right, Raider Nation, here he is, man. My boss, a true ambassador for the Raider Nation, man. How are you doing, my boss? Thanks again for coming back onto the Raider Homer channel.
Oh, man, I'm doing fabulous as always, and I just really appreciate you always, showing the love and giving me a little bit of time on your channel and let me speak out to the Raider Nation and tell them a few things about what's going on with me and what's going on and the things that I know about the Raider Nation that are going on and the Raiders, and get a chance to talk a little Raider football. So, man, I always appreciate the time, and I really enjoy talking with you. We're more than just interviews, man. You're my brother, so anytime, bro, you know you got me.
I appreciate it, brother. And you know what? That's what I mean, dude. You've made me feel like family since day one, dude. You believed in me, dude. I walked the same stage that the Violator and Gorilla Rilla were celebrated by, M&M Productions during the Raider Nation Explosion 1. So, dude, for you to include me in that, it was a tremendous honor, man. Even though I broke my bottle and lost my keys, I still made it home, and I still love it.
But see, you got to have a rememberable story about the whole thing to tie it all in. Not just I had a great time out there, but you have to have something that ties that all in. And so losing your keys and breaking the bottle and all that just makes the story that much better.
Yeah. And then to add to that story, right? That was Raider Lyric's first outing as Raider Lyric, man. That
yeah. What a blessing to see these young guys, early on in their life and really dedicate their lives to the Raiders and the Raider Nation and come up with these characters and be bold enough, because a lot of kids are shy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be bold enough to come out and stand in front of 1,300 people and show yourself off that way, man. I was really, really proud of him. And little Raider Panther Jacob, I was really proud of him. And I'm just so excited to see these youngsters come up and start doing this stuff, man. And just so we know that the Raider Nation fans will go on long after we're all gone and, put in the ground or whatever happens to us. There's still going to be some other generations following behind us to keep this thing going, man. And it's real exciting to see those guys. So every time I see those little ones out there, man, I get real, real excited. So shout out to his pops out there, man. Callie Mark out there doing his thing, man, raising his kid right. Shout out to Liz for, giving her input and getting Jacob on the right track, and all you other parents that are out there and raising your kids in the Raider Nation and putting that fire and desire for the Raiders in their heart, man. Shout out to all you parents, man. I love that.
Yeah, as Al Davis says, the greatness of the Raiders is in the future, in its future.
Absolutely.
So our future is bright, man. It's just our job to keep planting seeds and watering them, right, and watch them grow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly. Yeah. Boy, you sound like you've been talking to a friend of mine named Violator, because, boy, he says that a whole lot.
Man, I'm telling you, man. Hey, like I said, dude, I've been a Violator fan since like 98, that's like when I started to notice them, right? So to be able to talk to the man, but mostly learn from the man, dude, it's a tremendous, I can't believe it, dude. I mean, yeah, I wanted to share the story of the Raider Nation with this channel, but I did not expect to be changed as much as I have been changed as, by the guys that I'm talking to. It's like I said in the past, you can get desensitized watching violent movies over and over, but talking to you and Wayne, it's good, positive things in my ears all the time, and now I want to do good, positive things. So it's a great thing to be a part of.
And you're already on the right track, man. You're doing all the right things and doing it the right way, man. And like I say, it's going to be nothing but more success for you and the Raider channel that you got promoting. And, man, I'm just looking forward to the bigger things that you do in the future. And hopefully you'll keep the Mob Boss a part of it, man.
Oh,
I want to help see you grow. I want to help put some water on you and, watch it grow, man. So, long as you out there doing it, man, you got my support, my brother.
Well, I appreciate it, bro. And I'll tell you what, bro, I'm ready to travel, man. This COVID's got everything messed up. Tell me you have some good news about the Raider Nation Explosion 2.
I do, man. And I know people have been, really bummed out about this whole pandemic that has swept the country and has put basically the country on hold and shut the country down. But we're coming out of it as we speak. Day by day, we're coming out of it. And so we've been in contact with the city of Madera and the Madera Fairgrounds and the managers at Madera Fairgrounds, and talking to them on a weekly basis, trying to keep up with everything and see how things are going. And they have, at this very point, the last conversation was last Wednesday or Thursday, and they have told us, do not cancel, do not postpone. We anticipate by the end of May or the first week of June that the restrictions will be lifted in the county so that we will still be able to continue to have the Raider Nation Explosion 2. So we are still pushing forward. We're still making big plans for you guys, and tickets are still available. You know, I know a lot of people, because from this point last year, we were at probably, you know, a little more ticket sales than we have now, but that was due to everybody saying, well, dang, man, everything's shut down. They're probably going to cancel it. But just to let you guys know, man, we're on and cracking. We can't wait to present this event to you guys. Like I said, pre-sale tickets are still on for $10. Where else can you go get a large event, car show, and a concert for $10? And those of you who were there last year, you already know how we do it. We're going to even do it bigger. For some of you young ladies that have already bought your tickets and wristbands for the Mob Boss Margaritas, we got that all getting prepared for that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, a bunch of women just started saying yes when you said it's still on. All those women that won the free margaritas,
still on. It's still on, man, and we're going to try to make it even a bigger party because of the fact of some of the other events that we're used to going to during this time of the year, you know, got postponed or canceled and things like that. So we want to try to make this event one of those gatherings that, hey, man, since we didn't get to see each other all summer like we normally would, the Raider Nation Explosion 2 is the place to come, the place to be, to meet up with all your friends and folks you haven't seen because of the quarantine and all of that kind of stuff. We're going to give you a spot to celebrate. We are still going to be, they've already asked us, no matter what happens, even if the event is still going on, that we follow some strict guidelines as far as social distancing and things like that. So we'll be having some sanitation stations that'll be set up out there. I believe we're working on trying to have some of the disposable masks that we can hand out and so people can cover up if need be. So we're planning to not only give you guys a nice party, but keep you safe as well, because we want you to go home just the way you came, and we want to be able to see you later on in the season. So we don't want the explosion to be the reason somebody gets sick. So we're going to do all those kind of things to try to keep you guys safe as well as give you a good time. That's awesome, man. And, right, you still have a place for me to put my keys, right? Yeah, I'm going to take care of your stuff, man, this time. I'm going to go lock it up, you know, personally. So don't worry about it. You're going to be all right, man. I got you. All right, cool, man. Yeah, man, I'm really excited, dude. I'm a lone wolf by nature, you know, but damn, this is ridiculous. You know, I'm already ready to get out, man. Come on. Already. Yeah, man, I've been wanting to get out. And some of the places have slowly opened up around us. You know, they're opening up beaches and parks and things like that slowly. But I told my wife, I said, look, we still got stuff later on in the summer to do. Let's just stay inside for just a little while longer to make sure that they're not opening up things too soon so that we don't get caught up. And so we've still been kind of sticking around the house, even though we're really wanting to be out and do the things that we would normally be doing, but we're still sticking around the house. The only thing basically I do is go to work because, I'm one of those so-called essential government workers, and, you know, they're not playing that stuff, stay home. So they got us coming to work. So other than going to work, I'm usually at the house, you know, working on which is great because I have so many projects going on right now. I have so many things going on right now. So being stuck in the house hasn't been as bad as most people would think, for me at least, because I'm able to really give my full attention to these projects and try to get these things happening and on the way, especially now. Like I said, we're doing a lot of work to try to get the explosion, you know, off the ground and everything like that. So the time being at home is well spent for me. It's been well spent. Yeah, I've been utilizing it myself, you know, and trying to grow the channel, get better at doing what I'm doing as far as like pre-production and post-production. So yeah, man, it's don't waste the time, Raider Nation. Make sure that you're utilizing this time, preparing yourself for, you know, the Raider events to come and the Raider games as well. You know. Yeah. And one thing, I think that's gonna be a bright spot, I guess, to come out of this. Once we come out of this, is like we were talking about not too long ago, is that some of the things that we took for granted after COVID, we're not gonna take those for granted anymore. Absolutely. And so people, real talk, enjoy your life, enjoy the things that you have, but like Homer says, don't take things for granted, because we've seen through this, things can be taken away from us so quickly, so easily. one virus shut down a whole country and many other places across, around the globe, around the world. So don't take things for granted. Don't take that time. I'll go see them tomorrow, or, oh man, I'll give you a call later on. If those opportunities come up, if somebody's on your brain, somebody's on your heart, give them a call, give them a text, go see them, or whatever the case may be, because who knows, the next time this happens, maybe you're not able to go see that person anymore, man. So cherish these moments, cherish these times, and take this stuff very seriously, because pandemics, man, I'm not into all the sci-fi movies, but this stuff has already been shown to you in sci-fi movies and so on and so forth. And now you see that in reality, these things can really, really happen. So take it seriously, man. Take your health seriously. Eat right. Keep yourself clean as possible. Wash your hands and all that good stuff. Just really take this stuff seriously, and don't take nothing for granted, man. Don't take nothing for granted.
Amen to that. Hey, so we were doing those. Which one was it? The Modelo one or the football one? That we were passing the football, or was it passing the Modelo, man? But you were...
Man, oh my gosh, man,
you lost track, right?
Well, yeah, because I've done so many over the last couple of months. The superfan transformation was a football, then the black hole transformation was a Modelo, and then now we're actually, I'm going to spill the beans, but they're working right now. That's one of the projects that I'm working on right now. There's Knights of the Shield, the CEO of Knights of the Shield, Albert DeLuna, has asked me to put together a transformation for the members of Knights of the Shield across the country, from Fresno to Madera to Modesto, all the different places, even out to Washington. So that one's coming soon. So yeah, all these challenges, man, but they're fun. They're fun and they're amazing, and it's good to see, because we're all trapped, and we're not seeing each other, on a daily basis or at these different events like we normally would during this time of the year. So to be able to, connect with folks on the challenges and things like that, and see people, man, that you haven't seen in a while, man, they're fun. They're fun. I enjoy them, and I hope people keep doing them, man. I just hope people keep doing them, because they're fun.
Yeah, shout out to 4Dub too. I was in their video, man. So you have to know me by face to see that, though.
yeah. I wanted to mention that one, but I was going to stay away from that one. Okay.
All right. But so the one I was talking about earlier, man, is one that I commented on, dude. And I saw that, you were repping, and I, commented on it, and you shouted out to me. You said, "Hey, man, did you see your patches on there, dude? You had my Raider Homer channel Shield patch and the Oaktown Legends patch, dude. You're always always talking about supporting the Raider Nation, but, you're always doing it too, showing how to do it. And so, thank you, man, for repping the Raider Homer channel like that, dude."
Absolutely. Like I told you before, I got your back, man. And not only you, but all of my Raider Nation brothers and sisters, man. And one thing I want to try to let you guys know out there, these guys, super fans, super friends, whatever you want to call them, these guys put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of work to travel around the country with the Raiders, to support the different events, to bring something to the Raider fans. So when they put things out, when they put patches out or T-shirts out, go out and support those things, man, because they're not using that money to put in their pocket. They're using that money to give back to you. Because when you go to these events and you see these guys that you've been wanting to see, or, whatever the case may be, well, it costs them something to get there. It costs them travel money. It costs them whatever. So people are finding different ways to be able to finance these things. And so as Raider brothers and sisters, just like people have supported me, I want to show my love and show my support back by, getting their patch and, repping it well. And so other people can see, because a lot of people, when they see the Mob Boss, the first thing they ask me is, can I see your jacket? Can I see the jacket? Because they want to see all the different clubs and all the different patches that I have. And I have many, many different clubs across the country who made me honorary members and things like that. And I rep their patch on my jacket, and, you and let's see, Gonzo's on there, man. I've got all kinds of people on there. So I'm running out of room. I'm running out. Yeah, and Mr. Epic, right? And man, picture me rolling. That's every time I see. Yeah, picture me rolling, right? And I said, I'm repping so many people on the Mob Boss jacket. I said, damn, I'm running out of room. So the next project I'm working on is a shadow box. It's going to be a large framed out shadow box, and I'm going to have people's patches and so on and so forth that I've collected or people have sent to me or whatever, so I can make sure I rep everybody that, you know, shows me love and, you know, sends me this stuff and says, Mom, can so if I can't get it on the jacket, trust me, you will be represented somewhere. And I will make sure that I put it out publicly so everybody knows that Mob Boss supports you and whatever you got going on, man. So, yeah, I definitely try to rep everybody. I try to, you know, support everybody in the nation because I know we're all doing the same thing and we have the same desire for the same team and we all want to back that. So, yeah, if I could do any little bit to support everybody and everything that's going on, man, I try to do my best to be there.
Hey, that's the way to be. That's the way to be. What was I just going to say? Oh, man, I lost my train of thought, man. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Hey, you know, you have you're running out of room on your black outfit, right? Maybe do like a white outfit where, you know, like a road outfit, you know.
You know what?
White on the road.
I have been asked that many of times, right? And the only reason that I haven't done it so far is because of the fact that I might have to do it in gray. I might have to go gray because the white, there would be no way to keep it clean with as much stuff as I do. And I love you pretty Raiderettes, man. You guys are out there lovely, you know, black eyes, my wife included. But one, you know, they get the hugging and, you know, taking pictures. And before long, I got makeup and all that. And then I got to explain that to black eyes. So, you know.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? So it gets a little crazy sometimes. It gets a little crazy, man. I've come home a few times. And, you know, I wear the silver mask, and I come home, and there's lipstick on the cheeks of the silver mask, and my wife's like, what the hell is going on here? I'm like, oh, baby, you know, but they kissed Mob Boss. They didn't kiss me, you know what I mean? I'm thinking about that. I am honestly thinking about getting another version of the suit that I wear and another color. But I don't know if it's going to be white. It may be, but I'm thinking maybe it might be gray or something like that.
Yeah, gray's a better idea. You're right. Yeah, white's just going to get way too dirty, too
and plus, you know, beers, you know, even the guys come up and they want to put their arm around you and take their photo, and next thing you know, they spill beer all over it. And so, you know, but it's all a part of the fun. It's all, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change it for the world. The love that is shown at tailgates, events, and Raider games, I wouldn't change any of it.
Look, check it out. The general says silver. Damn.
Oh, well, maybe that's what it is. It may be in silver, man. So be on the lookout. Something's coming. Something's coming at some point. But trust me, it is.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Hey, man, so when we were getting ready for this call a little while ago, dude, you said you wanted to mention some things, man. So let's hear those things.
Oh, okay, great. Like I said, I've been taking this time that we've been kind of on lockdown and brainstorming a lot of things, and I got involved with a lot of different things. So the first thing I want to tell you guys about is because of the COVID-19, a lot of these 2020 graduates have missed out on their proms, they've missed out on their graduations and things like that. And it's really, really a downer because you know how it is, man. You work 12, 13 years to get to a graduation and somebody says, nope, you can't have it. You know what I mean? And it's really disappointing for the kids. It's really disappointing for the parents. So if you guys haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it on my Facebook page or on my Instagram page, I am doing personal videos to the graduates. So if you're a parent out there that has a child that's graduating and they're a Raider fan, or they don't even necessarily have to be a Raider fan, if they just want to hear some encouraging words and congratulations from the Mob Boss, send me an inbox with their information, and I will make a personal video to them, congratulating them on their graduation and saying a few encouraging words to them and so on and so forth. I spent this last weekend, I probably did 35 different videos over this last weekend, and I'm willing to do 1,000 if that's what it is, you know. So send me the information. I will make sure your kid gets a shout out, because, man, I am proud of these kids, man. They've worked hard. They deserve, you know, to be recognized for their hard work and their efforts. So if the Mob Boss can do any little piece to help make this graduation for them a little bit better, send me that info, and they will get a message from me. And also, I think Black Guys, we sent out some congratulation cards as well through the mail from the Mob Boss, you know, for those who gave me their addresses and things like that. So I'm here to support you, 2020 graduates. You know, and even if you don't send me a message or whatever the case may be, I just want to say, you know, hats off to all of you guys that were out there and you worked so hard to get to your graduation, and you crossed it, and you made it. You made it. You might not get to cross the stage, but you made it. So shouts out to all you graduates out there, 2020. And I even sent somebody sent me a message and they said, hey, well, what about the 6th graders and the 8th graders? You didn't say nothing about them. And I said, you know what? Send me the info and I'll take care of them too. So I did some for a couple of 8th graders and a couple of 6th graders. And I don't know if you know the 510 president out there, KOS 510 president. She just graduated college. And she was like, wait a minute, I'm your friend. You ain't going to do one for me? So I sent one to her and another 2 or 3 other college graduates. So if you are a graduate, no matter what level of 2020, and you want a message from the Mob Boss, you inbox me and I'll make sure I get that message out to you.
Man, way to rep the Raiders with pride and poise and a commitment to excellence, man. You keep setting that bar higher and higher. Somebody's been talking to Wayne, right?
Yep. Yes, definitely. I take everything that he instills in me, and, you know, and I take it very seriously. And I really try to not only rep the Raiders, but rep the fans and the nation in a special way. And I want to give a piece of me back to all of that, because of so much that I get from it. You know what I mean? The love that I get, the hugs that I get, the kisses that I get, the handshakes I get, the messages I get, you know. So I want to be able to give some of that back. I don't want to just take it and store it away somewhere. I want to give it back. So as much as I can give back, man, I'm always trying.
That's awesome, dude. That's really awesome, man.
Yeah. Now, the next thing I want to tell you guys about is, again, if you haven't seen it on my Facebook page or on the Raider Mob Boss Instagram page, is the new Raider Mob Boss face mask. Okay. In my city where I live in Modesto, California, there are CNAs and first responders who work in care facilities, and they are not, even some of the nurses in some of the hospitals that are around the area. It's been all over the news and so on and so forth, where they feel as if they are not getting the support from the facilities, from the hospitals and things like that, to provide them with the necessary protection as far as gloves, masks, and things like that. Some of these folks are getting issued, you know, basically one mask a week, and they're in first real hand contact with patients with COVID-19 and so on and so forth. So there is a first responders fund out there in Modesto, and I just happen to know one of the CNAs that's a part of that, and she says, hey, is there anything that you could get your Raider friends to do to try to help us raise money so we could purchase? They're purchasing their own gear. They're purchasing their own face shields, their own gloves and things like that, because they're not getting it from the facilities or the hospitals that they work for. And I said, you know what? I don't know, but I'll come up with something. And then I started noticing that, you know, there's Raider people were making these Raider masks and selling these Raider masks. And I said, there it is. I said, I'm going to make a Mob Boss mask, and I'm going to sell those, and all the proceeds are going to go to these people in this first responders fund. I'm going to give them all the money I make and give it to them, and so that they can help try to provide masks, gloves, and things like that for these nurses, CNAs, and first responders that are out there working with patients firsthand with COVID-19 and things like that. So if you get a chance, man, to help, not only will you look cool in the mask, but you'll be safe because now you got a mask on and you'll be able to help somebody else be safe. So get out there and, check it out on my page. Inbox me if you want to get one. But that money is not going in my pocket. That money is going to the First Responders Fund of Modesto to help take care of these like I said, nurses, CNAs. And it's not just women, it's men too. And so there's a lot of folks out there that are really, really doing a hard job as essential workers, but they're not being protected the way they feel like they should be protected. So I'm doing my little part to help give back there too, So if you guys want to get involved in that, shoot me inbox and I'll get a mask out to you. I think the masks are $8 plus the little shipping cost or whatever the case may be, and that money is going directly to the First Responders Fund. That's not going to the mob boss.
Man, great work, man. Great work. Reach out, Raider Nation. Find the mob boss on social media and find a way to help, man. Way to be.
Yeah, now don't get me wrong. I do got some T-shirts, Raider Mob Boss T-shirts and tank tops for the ladies. Now that goes to help Mob Boss keep doing. And the bear cozies too, man. So, but now that stuff goes on to keep everything that I do. Not just money for Mob Boss, but that keeps money in my pocket to keep doing things. Keep getting involved with stuff and things like that. So it keeps the whole Mob Boss organization, if you want to call it an organization, it keeps it all running. So every little bit of support helps, man. And that, like I said, I try to support those who are out there, and they return the love and support me back. And so Raider Nation, if you're out there, support, please. It's all going to a good cause. Everything that I do is not just for myself, but it's really, truly for you Raider Nation fans and for my community. So if you can help.
Right on, man. Yeah, dude. I love that, dude. You're always showing support. Like I said, wearing my patches and yeah, Raider Nation. It's not free to do these things. It costs money to help people, and that's why, you should show your support. It helps. It helps in the overall of the human race. It helps the overall human race. It's important too to rebuild our image as a fan base and show that we're not just rowdy ass fans. We are caring people. Yes,
absolutely. There's a lot of big hearts behind all those scary faces that you see on Sundays, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, there's some huge hearts. There's some great people out there doing great work in the name of supporting the Raiders and supporting their communities. And that's the one thing I love about being a part of this. I have a young lady that I work with, and she's not a football fan, definitely not a Raider fan. And she always tells me, every time I see you online, you scare the shit out of me with that damn costume. And I said, well, it's a good thing that you know the guy underneath. And she's like, you are nothing like the guy that I see on there. And I said, well, it's kind of like, David Banner and the Hulk. You know what I mean? Yeah. The guy you see at work is one guy, and I got that. But that when I turn the transformation into that guy, that mob boss guy, man, he is something else. He's on a total another level. And, and sometimes I even scare myself, because even Black Ice is like, okay, we're home now. Can you cut that mob boss stuff out? We're at home. Can you be a dad? Can you be a grandfather? Can you do this? Because it's just something about being mob boss that just takes over me, and especially when I'm around the Raider Nation or at the games or something like, it's just something that just takes over me, man. It's almost like being possessed in a way, and so that's where you get all the scary faces and the scary costumes, because there is a possession that takes place.
Oh, yeah.
When you transform into these things. It's something different than you are as a normal person. And that's why you see a lot of the scariness come out of the scary mask or the scary costumes, because that's exactly what it is, man. It's a transformation into something more beast, as just like Marshawn Lynch, right? As Marshawn Lynch, it's more beast mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you get into that Raider mode and you get into that Raider mentality, you just turn into something totally different. But like I said, I would never change it. I would never give any of this stuff up, man. And I'm gonna be a Raider till they put me in the box and put some dirt over me. I'm still gonna be screaming Raider from the grave. That's
Amen
just
to
what
that.
it is, man. That's just what it is.
I love the Raiders so much, I bought a legacy brick, damn it. You're going to remember me, Raider Nation.
Yes, absolutely. My wife thinks I was crazy. I was like, no, I want to be remembered as that guy, as that Raider. And then when I bought the brick, I didn't put Kevin on it. I put my boss.
Well, they didn't. I didn't take that chance.
Like,
I just put my real name and my daughter's name, But.
Yeah, I put my boss on it because I said, they might not need to walk by there and say, I don't know who Kevin Guilford is, but, they might remember my boss. So I said, man, because that's how much my dad had instilled this desire and this love for this team, from a young child all the way. And so, man, like I said, till the grave, man, till the grave. I even had most of my funeral planned out, which is crazy to some people. But I have my funeral planned out, and a lot of it incorporates the Raider Nation and, what I want to be buried in and all this kind of stuff. And my wife was like, you are just insane. But I'm like, no, this is what it means to me. This is, and slowly over the years, and she talks about me, but slowly over the years from the time that we got married until now, I've watched her transform. And I even noticed when she changes into black ice, she's different. And I tell her I said, it happens to you too, and you don't even realize it's happening. And she's like, no, I'm the same. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. When you get in that costume, because my wife is very demure, she's very quiet, introverted, but then as soon as she puts that stuff on, all of a sudden she's loud and she's screaming Raiders, and I'm like, you didn't change? No, yeah, you changed.
Oh, yeah, man, I can understand that, dude. Like I've said in the past, I've dealt with stage fright, but it's something about putting the mask on and then what you're standing for that just pushes you beyond who you would normally be. Yeah, man. And
I mean, there's been times I've been, I've worked hard all week or whatever the case may be, and then where I would normally be dead tired on the weekends, come a game weekend, I have this burst of energy that comes from, I don't know where it comes from. And my wife's like, yeah, if we didn't have a game this weekend, you'd be in the bed sleeping. And I'm like, yeah, but man, and I just go and I go and I go and I go. And, sometimes, on game weekends, you got, 2 or 3 parties to go to, and then early morning tailgate, and then a game all day. And then, and I will just basically run with no sleep, because I'm energized. I'm just energized off of the Raider energy, and I get more energy when I get around Raider fans, and I'm just sucking that energy in, man, and it keeps me going, bro. So it's an amazing power to have with the Raider Nation. The Raider Nation gives you power. It gives you energy. It's no other fan base is like that. Nowhere can you go and feel the electricity as soon as you walk into the room, as soon as you go into an event, as soon as you go into the parking lot and see everybody. No other team is like that. No other team is like that. You go to other places and you're like, this is a tailgate? I mean, there's no noise here. There's no people rowdy. There's nothing going on. But you come to Oakland or anywhere else that we may gather, because even when we go into other cities, people from other teams in their own city come around to see our tailgates because they've never seen nothing like that. Yeah. They've never seen that kind of energy, that kind of electricity. And man, so there's just nothing like being a Raider fan. Nothing like it.
Amen to that. Hey, you've been a Raider fan for a long time. You've seen a lot of games. The season's coming, How are you feeling about the team now that free agency has settled down and the draft has come and gone?
Well, actually, I'm very, very much inspired and excited about what is going to transpire this season. I was just talking to Captain Jack last week on his show about the same thing. I think we made some incredible moves. We brought in some veteran players from other places to kind of lead some of these guys that we picked up in the draft and mold them into some different things. And, man, I see possibly some change in our offense. You're going to see probably, if things are the way I look at it in my mind, you're going to see a faster offense with a more college feel to it. You're going to see some of the things that you might have seen out of the Saints when they utilized. Why do I forgot his name on Captain Jack's show too? Number 7 out there on the Saints, and how they utilized him.
Yeah.
No, not Drew Brees.
Oh,
not Drew
I
Brees.
can't remember that other guy, the quarterback that played wide receiver kind of thing.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we picked up in the draft. We picked up the young man out of Kentucky who is the same player. He's the same exact guy. He's a quarterback that plays wide receiver, and he also was a running back. That gives us options. That gives us things to do, right? And then with Mr. Ruggs, we picked up Mr. Ruggs, and everybody said, "Oh my gosh, we didn't get Lamb." Everybody got frustrated. I was even kind of frustrated, right? Because I wanted Lamb too. But then when I actually started looking at this guy's stats, going back and looking at some of his film, he's the exact same player. He's just not as tall. He's a little bit smaller, but he's faster. He has the same type of hands. And the thing with him is the after the catch speed. The yards after catch are amazing for this guy. So now we got a player that can get down the field, catch the ball, and then, put some moves on it and give you 15, 20 extra yards on top of it. So I really see the offense opening up. And like I said, with the free agency, we brought in a lot of veteran players that can plug up some of those holes where we were lacking, and a middle linebacker position, the cornerback position, and so on and so forth. And we're going to be all right, man. I'm excited for what's going to happen. I don't usually like to predict things like I told Captain Jack, but I will predict that we will see a playoff game, if not a little further. So be prepared for what's going to happen. I'm sorry that it didn't happen the way we wanted it to happen at home, because Oakland will always be home as far as I'm concerned. Vegas is just a spot where, we went to, but home is Oakland, and I'm sorry that all of this didn't happen in Oakland, but be excited about what's going on in Vegas, because just remember, whatever goes on in Vegas started in Oakland.
Amen to that.
So it is what it is, and we're just going to keep riding this train, but you're going to see some good things out of the Raiders. You're going to see some fast football out of the Raiders. You're going to see some hard-hitting football out of the Raiders. It's almost going to be, in a sense, of going back to our old glory days, man, when we were hitting people, smashing people in the mouth, and they didn't know what to do with us. And I think that's what you're going to get out of this team here. It's going to be a lot of excitement. So you guys get ready, man. Put your seatbelts on.
I'm buckled up. I'm ready.
Yeah, you're going to have to be buckled up, because this is going to be one hell of a ride, bro. It's going to be one hell of a ride.
Oh, yeah. All right, brother. Well, man, I appreciate your time, dude. But before I let you go, tell the Raider Nation how to find you on social media.
Okay, you guys can go find me on Facebook at the Raider Mob Boss page on Facebook. You can go to Instagram, Raider_Mob_Boss, and you can follow me there. Like I said, anytime you want to just shoot me a message and say what's up, I'm more than happy to answer. I talk to pretty much everybody. If you send me a message, I'm going to say something back to you. I'm not one of those folks that don't, you could message me all day and I don't respond. I try to respond to every single person that sends me a message. It might not be that exact same day, but I'll get back to you. And, just follow me where you can. If I don't see you out there on the road at one of these games, because I'm traveling, I'll be, as of right now, I'll be in Atlanta, I'll be in North Carolina, L.A., I'll be at 2 games or 3 games in Vegas. So if you don't catch me at a game, catch me at one of the events. You can definitely catch me at the Raider Nation Explosion too. But wherever you are, man, come shake my hand, give me a hug, give me a kiss, man, show me some love, because I'm going to show that love right back to you, man. And I love all you guys in the Raider Nation, my fans. I love the Raider team. I love the team we built this year. I love our coaching staff. So that's it, man. That's it. I'm a Raider for life till you put me in the ground. So as I tell everybody, I don't like to be called a super fan, because I'm not a super fan. I'm a Raider. So I'm just like every one of you guys, screaming and looking for a championship just like everybody else. I'm no better than anybody else because I wear a costume and may have a couple people that recognize me or whatever the case may be. I am just a Raider, just like everybody else. So I believe the same silver and black blood that all the rest of you guys do, and I'm just me, man. I'm just me. So enjoy the rest of your show, man. I know you got Odis coming on. I'm excited about that, man. I really am. I've got to meet him a few times.
That's cool.
So,
yeah,
so I'm really
too.
excited. I'm excited to hear that portion of the show, man. So I'm gonna let you get on and take care of the rest of your show. And as always, Homer, if you ever need me for anything, you reach out to me, and I got your back 100%, my brother.
Hey, likewise, bro. Likewise. Hey, and real quick, man, ladies. Watch out giving my boss a kiss, all right? Black guys may not like that.
Well,
right,
she'll be okay.
careful.
She'll be okay. She'll be all right. She understands a little bit.
All right, don't get him in trouble now, all right? Especially all you ladies having all the margaritas at the Raider Nation Explosion, too. Be careful.
Yeah, because I'm definitely going to hook y'all up with the margaritas. So, yeah, I might get a few extra kisses. I might have to maybe give Black Ice a few margaritas to calm her down, too. You know what I mean?
All right, brother. You have a good night, all right?
All right, man. Take care. Love you, brother.
Love you, too, brother.
Later.
All right, Raider Nation, man, the mob boss, always coming through, always repping the Raiders with pride and poise and a commitment to excellence, always showing love to the Raider Nation, man. Make sure you find him on social media, support what he does, dude. He's serious, right? You heard him, right? He's doing everything he can. The things that he offers, you know, they are to help him help, you know, the Raider Nation help others. So be sure to help out the mob boss, all right? All right, cool. Now, we are running a little while. I'm getting some late text from Colo right now. All right, cool. So, look, I'm trying to get Odis Mckinney on the phone right now. So, let's go ahead and switch over while we work on that. Be right back, Raider Nation. All right, Raider Nation, thank you for being patient. As I got Odis Mckinney on the phone, we were getting some stuff situated in the background. So, Odis, thanks for coming on the Raider Homer channel. It's always an honor to have a member of the Raider alumni on the channel.
No, thank you for having me.
All right, now you played 2 stints with the Raiders. The first stint was from 1980 to 1984, and your second stint was a part of the 85 season to 1986. And as a Raider, you played 85 regular season games with 19 starts and recorded 9 interceptions for 82 yards and 2 sacks. But most importantly, you became a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Yes, it was weird that I was drafted by the New York Giants in 1978, and then I got traded to Oakland in 1980. And it was just weird how I went from, a last place team to the Super Bowl that year. So, and then from 1980 to 1980, 8 through 84, came into camp in 85, got released. Kansas City picked me up for 4 games. And the only reason why KC picked me up, because at that time, we were playing the Raiders. Well, Kansas City was playing the Raiders twice within those four weeks. And back then, we had what you call IR. You can go on IR for 4 weeks and then come off it. So what they ended up doing, one of their DBs went on IR. They picked me up. So basically, they wanted to pick my brain. And I wasn't going to let them pick my brain, because I knew it was the reason why they picked me up. Because once we played the Raiders the second time, that was the 4th week, they released me, and then the Raiders picked me right back up again. So I finished the season with the last 11 games with the Raiders. So I knew what they were doing. But, when I got picked back up to the Raiders, so basically I just missed, I missed 1 game out of that 16-game season. So.
Cool. Well, as you mentioned earlier, you were drafted by the New York, and you were drafted in New York by the Giants, right?
Yes.
All right. And now, you come to Oakland, and in your first year with the Raiders, you win a Super Bowl. So how did it feel to be on a Super Bowl winning team?
What's so funny was that year in 1980, of course, you remember we're a wild card team. So we had to go play the New York Giants the last game of the season, and we had to beat them to make the wild card. So for me to go back and play the last game against a team that drafted me, that was kind of strange right then and there. But all the players, Harry Carson, all those guys, they were happy for me, but they all wanted to be traded. He goes, man, you think you can give me a trade to the Raiders? They all want to come to me to ask Al if they can trade for them. So it was just a great honor to come and play for a man like Mr. Davis and the Raiders, because they're such a close-knit team. I've never been around any players as close as we were the 1980 from the 1980 team on. So it was a great honor just to get that first one, and then of course 2 years later, got my second one.
Yeah, 2 years later, right? I was going to say 2 years later, the Raiders moved to L.A., your hometown, and win their second title in 3 years. Now you're a 2-time Super Bowl champ and one of the few players that can say they won a Super Bowl in 2 different cities for the same team in your hometown in the history of the NFL. Where does the 83 team rank in your mind as far as all-time teams?
I think they're up there. I'll say in the top 5, top 10 for sure. Talking to Mr. Davis before he passed, we had so much talent on that team. I thought that at that time we were the best team that ever played a game. And I thought that was the best team I've ever been on. And Mr. Davis told me, he goes, nope. He goes, I think the 1982 was a better team, which I don't see how. I think that was Marcus Allen rookie year. And That was the strike season. We were 9-1, and we ended up losing, I think, to the Jets in the playoffs. And we had so much talent that year in '82. Then we just added a piece here and there in '83. We just made it overboard. I mean, I think there was such great talent on that team that I don't think anybody can beat us. At that year, come to think of it, that year, it was 1984. No, '83 season, '84 Super Bowl. We're 12-4. And who did we lose to twice that year? Can you name the team that we lost twice that year?
The Broncos.
Nope, damn Seattle Seahawks.
Oh my God, I can't. I'm so
We're 12-4, and they beat us twice. For some reason, we just couldn't. It was tough for them. It was tough for them to go up in Seattle because they had this running back named Kurt Warner, and he was great on turf. So that year we were 12-4, and we just told ourselves, there's no way in hell we're gonna let them guys beat us 3 times in 1 year. So the Coliseum, we were in the Coliseum, and you know, we made history. Let me go back a step. In 1982, that strike season, if you guys remember, our first year in LA was '83. No, really, our first year in LA was '82. That was a short season. We practiced in Oakland, but played our home games in LA. So every game was on the road. We flew from Oakland to LA for home games, and then road games. And then '83 is when we made the final complete move. So '82, we really started in LA in '82, but every game was on the road. Think about that. A lot of people don't know that.
That's
so '83 was the first year we finally moved down. So yeah, so we were 9-1 that year. Every game was on the road for us.
Man, you know, we thought last year's road schedule was tough. That's a tough schedule.
Oh yeah. Think about it.
You know?
Yeah, '82.
Yeah.
Every game after practice, we got on the plane. We had to fly somewhere, you know. So yeah, that's what it was in '82. I mean, enough to be 9-1 to have basically all road games. And then in '83, during the off season, we finally made that move to El Segundo, and that was our first year in LA. So
your hometown. I mean, talk about being a hometown kid and winning the Super Bowl. You know, for your hometown.
I tell you, you know what? That was great. But let me tell you something. Oakland have some of the best fans around. Because when we first came down to L.A., think about it. The Coliseum seated 100,000. We averaged around 35 to 40,000 our first year down in L.A. You know, we did not sell out one game. Even through the playoffs, because of course it's hard to sell out, 90 to 100,000 seat stadium. Because even at 60,000, that place looks empty. But in the playoffs, every game was not on. All the games were not live because they weren't sold out. Because the rule is you got to be sold out 72 hours for a game. So when the AFC Championship game wasn't even sold out. We had around 75 to 80,000. And what happened was one of the dealerships came in and bought up the last 20,000 seats and handed out the tickets. And the NFL lifted that 72-hour. They gave us an extra 24 hours to see if we can sell it out. And that's how we ended up selling out the AFC Championship game at the last minute because of one dealership came in and bought up the last 20. And don't forget, it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
We didn't, it was just tough to get fans. I mean, we had our true Raider fans, the true fans in the end zone, the true fans. But the average 35 to 45,000 for a Raider team. Now, up in Oakland, I don't know what they seated, 55, 57, whatever. The fans, were great up in Oakland. I tell you, man, I mean, the black hole, I mean, you can just tell true Raiders. And you know what? And to this day, it took me a while to get used to saying L.A. Raiders. But for one thing, you're right. I got a chance to play for Oakland and L.A. and got a ring from each. So, I can say I'm a true Oakland and a true LA Raider. So, now I have to say I'm a Vegas. Because once you're, like you said, once you're a Raider, always a Raider. Whether they move to freaking Mexico City, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
It's just that silver and black, man. The silver and black. So.
Yeah, well, you played with a lot of great Raider players and a few Hall of Famers in your 2 stints with the Raiders. And one of them was Super Bowl MVP Marcus Allen. Now, Marcus Allen came out on Dan Patrick's show, and he's given his account of what happened the day that the two of you went to the Super Bowl and y'all were trying to park and get in. Can you share that story with the Raider Nation from your perspective?
See, Marcus put all that blame on me because, I said, Marcus says, shit, man, hey, this is my first Super Bowl. He goes, oh, this is your second one. You should know better. So he goes, he puts the blame on me. So back then, the Raiders, they gave us all cars. So 2 to a car. So Marcus and I, we jump on the car day of the game. So we're driving over to the stadium. So we're driving down the street, and we're in the back of the stadium. Now, our locker room is literally 20 yards away from where the parking lot is. So we said, come on, man, can we pull in here? He goes, no, you got to have a pass for this. I said, man, we're players. I got Marcus Allen with me. So, man, you can't park in here, man. Now, this whole line, I said, man, he goes, you guys got to park all the way over there. I said, man, we ain't driving all the way over there. The damn place is right here. Let us pull. Come on, man. Sorry, man, we can't let you in. So Marcus and I, we looked at each other and just said, okay. There was a line behind us, put the car in park, we grabbed our bags, and just walked right in through the gate, right into the locker room, and just left the car. And people ask, well, what happened to the car? Hell, it might still be sitting there. We don't know. It's a lease anyway. It's not our car. We just walked right into the locker room, just left the car with the keys in it, just left.
Man, what a story.
Yeah, because Marcus tells that story, man. He goes, and Dan Patrick like, what? He goes, you guys did what? So, man, hey, it was one of the dealerships. They probably came and got it. We don't know, but hey, we left the keys in the car. So,
well, what kind of?
Marcus put all the blame on me.
Oh man, that's not too cool, right?
He goes, Odis, you should know better. This is your second Super Bowl. I said, well, I didn't have a car in the first Super Bowl, so shoot.
Well, what kind of friendship did you have with Marcus Allen?
Marcus and I was real close. He's very good friend. I'm friends with his whole family. His dad, Red, and his mom. Harold, the oldest one. Michael, and Darius, and I've always been close with Marcus. We did a lot of we hung out once in a while. During the off season, but mainly defense hang with defense, offense with offense type of deal. But Marcus and I, we had a close knit because I really loved his family, and I honestly I talk more with his older brother than I do with him. But we were always close. One thing I got to respect about Marcus is even when I was an assistant coach for a few years under Art Shell, if I would run the special teams, and a lot of these young players, I'm running the special team, showing them the offensive play, the step to do. And a lot of players, get out of line, disrespect me because, who am I? I'm an assistant coach. Marcus always kept them in line. And he goes, man, you know what? You need to treat Odis like he's a coach, which he is a coach. So treat him with respect. And I'll never forget that, and people listen to Marcus. So I always respected that from him. He was always a good friend with me, and I respect that, So he's, it's just weird. I'll tell you a quick story. As a coach, I'm sitting in there, and, of course, we're losing. And Mr. Davis is pissed. What the hell is going on with this damn team? Where's the leadership? So he goes, who's the leader on offense? You hated to hear this. Marcus. Who's the leader on defense? Marcus. What about fucking special teams? Marcus. Oh, fuck. Oh, I'm sorry if I could curse on this.
No, it's okay. You're fine. Yeah, Al Davis is known for dropping the F-bomb.
Oh, man, Al was hot. Because that's one guy he did not want being a leader on the team. Because that was the time, him and Al was having it out. And to this day, we don't know why. But that was the time that they weren't getting along. But he hated to hear that Marcus, everybody looked up to him, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, because it's just his nature. He comes from a winning organization, USC, and everyone looked up to him. But Al did not like that, boy. So,
man, that's fascinating. I did not learn about that in our previous conversation earlier today. That you coached for the Raiders too. What a great!
Oh yeah, I was assistant.
Run.
I was assistant coach with them for 5 years, from 1990 with Art Shell. Honestly, I was fired, let go 3 weeks before they let Art go.
Man.
So yeah, I was with them for 5 years.
Wow,
as an assistant DB coach. So that was what I was going to tell you about. When I got released in 1985, Mr. Davis, like I said, he was real close with his players. He really took care of his players. And he brought me in the office. And, of course, winning 2 Super Bowls, I was loving the Raiders. And, I was upset. And Mr. Davis was upset, and he hated to see me go. And he told me, he goes, I know team's going to be picking you up, but when you're done playing, I like to bring you in as a scout or as a coach, And, he teared up a little bit, and I teared up a little bit. And the thing was that I told him that it was funny. I told him that Chuck Knox, he was the coach at the time of Seattle Seahawks, and Chuck wanted me, and he wanted me bad. And I told Mr. Davis that, and he goes, "Oh fuck, that fucking guy. He don't want to fuck us. He doesn't want you. Fuck her. Oh, fuck Chuck Knox." So Mr. Davis, come on, man. Chuck wants to. Oh fuck, what the fuck? That fucking guy don't want you. And you know what? And at the time, Reggie Kinlaw was there. And Chuck had Reggie call me, Odis, Chuck wants you, man. And I said, well, shit, what am I going to do? He goes, man, you can come here and play for 4 or 5 years. Trust me, Chuck likes veterans. He likes old guys. So I told Mr. Davis that, and he did not want to hear that. He did not want to hear that, boy. And honestly, I should have went, because once I came back to the Raiders, and I got released in '86. But see, then when I got released, and I tried to go to Seattle with Chuck, too late. No, it was too late then. He goes, you should have came when I asked to. So, but you know what? But I'm glad I didn't, because Mr. Davis gave me a job, and I was assistant coach for 5 years. And I tell you. You see, so I saw it from both sides. When you're a player, as long as you can perform, is no better owner in the business. But once, see, now I got him as a coaching on the coaching side. Whew, man, Mr. Davis looks at it this way: players put money in his pockets, coaches don't. Coaches coach. So if players screw up, it's coach's fault. You got to teach them. It's your fault that you're not teaching these kids. So I saw from both sides.
That's cool. I mean, that's cool that you made the transition from a player, a defensive back, to the special teams coach. And Willie Brown was your DB coach every year that you played.
I was assistant DB coach.
Right. Okay. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So Willie Brown was your DB coach every year that you played for the Raiders. What was Willie like as a DB coach? And how did he help you?
Honestly, let me tell you, I never played, my whole life, I never played the bump and run until I came to the Raiders. And then, Coach Brown invented the bump and run. So I learned a lot from him, man, and that's why Lester and Mike Haynes, guys like that, was so great, because, you're talking about, Hall of Famer and Willie Brown. shit. I mean, he was a great coach. He was a technician guy. And we also had Chet Franklin, who was also the DB coach, and so we had two. But for technique and things like that, Willie was the greatest. And I'll tell you, he was great being around. He was a great mentor, and I just missed being around him because it was funny. We'll be sitting in the meetings, and then on Saturday we used to always have the rookies bring in donuts, and Willie always say, "Don't give O. Make sure O only get one." Come on, Willie, why just one? That's sugar. You're a hyper ass. You get too damn hyper when you eat too many damn donuts. Make sure I get only one. You always put me down, man, because I was too hyper.
That's hilarious.
Always make sure. Saturday. Make sure I only get one. Come on, man. Shit. So, yeah, but where's my guy, boy? I tell you, he was, But yeah, we had a lot of fun with Willie B.
Yeah, man.
God, he was a great one.
Yeah, he was. I didn't get to see him, but watching NFL films, that's how I learned about the old Raider teams. And I just, like you said, you keep talking about Al and how great he is, and he inspired me, man. He was a great human being, and it's great to hear players.
And you know
come
what
on
Al
and talk
did?
About him.
Al brings in players that other teams didn't want.
Yeah.
Because when I came from the Giants, this is okay. He traded for me from the Giants, so. The first thing I said, Mr. Davis, I know what you've heard about me, militant and, being this and that with the Giants. He goes, the first thing that came out of his mouth, I don't give a fuck what you did with the New York Giants. I don't care what kind of attitude. As long as you can play on Sundays, that's what I care about. And he walked away. That was the first word that came out of his mouth. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't care what you do with New York. As long as you can play on Sundays, that's all I care about. And he walked away. Like,
that's awesome.
Okay. So, like I said, I played with guys like, a few Hall of Famers, Ted Henry, Art Shell, Gene Upshaw, Howie, Marcus. I played with some great Hall of Famers. And the good thing about the Raiders, okay, say for instance, 1980 team, we have such leadership between Gene Upshaw that, okay, Art, Gene and Uppy, those two were like, couldn't get them two apart. Art was soft-spoken. Gene did the yelling. And when anybody got out of line, he had to deal with Gene. So Uppy, it's just that's where the leadership came from. Because I tell you, if one guy fought, we all fought. And let me tell you something. When you had a 48-man roster, and we had camaraderie on Thursday nights, out of 48, 46 or 47 would show up to camaraderie. That's how close-knit we were up in Oakland. When we moved to L.A., we didn't have that closeness. We spread.
All right, Raider Nation, we got him back on the line. Sorry about that. So you were camaraderie.
I'm sorry. So the camaraderie up in Oakland, of course, there wasn't much to do in Oakland. When we had a 48-man roster, 46 guys out of 48 would show up for camaraderie every Thursday night. That's how close we were. When we came to L.A., around the 85, 86, it kind of slowly got away from that. We weren't as close. Tim Brown tried to bring it back But it's just, I don't know, maybe it was just too much to do in Oakland. I mean, in L.A. But we weren't as close of a group after the 85, 86 season as we always were before. So more in the 90s. But yeah, we're such a close-knit group. Let me tell you a quick story. My first year in Oakland, 1980, we're in training camp, Santa Rosa. The rookie party. We're at this, the rookie party. I mean, we're so close. Coaches even showed up for the rookie party. Tom Flory, Steve Ortmeyer, Lou Irvin. I mean, we had half the coaching staff there. That's how close we were as a team, whether it's players, coaches. We did everything together. And it's just, that's one thing I miss. People always ask, what do you miss most about the Raiders? It's not playing the game, it's the camaraderie. That's what you miss. Getting the guys together and just laughing. Because the last time we were completely together, the 83, they brought back it was our 30-year anniversary of the 83 Super Bowl team. And just walking into the hotel or walking from the airport and just looking at guys, without saying one word, we just start laughing. Because all these memories start to come back. So.
That's cool.
But yeah, man, it's just, that's what you miss about just getting the guys together. Because you know what? Sit around and listen to the stories. Because I remember when Cliff and I, before he passed, we were up in Oakland at Raider Image signing autographs. And Cliff and I will be across from each other, start telling stories. And guys are just standing around and just listen to our stories and just laugh and just buy up half our table because they just love to hear the old Raider stories. And I'm telling you, yeah, these young kids, they ought to respect us, because you know what? Just like I respected the game from the guys from the 60s and 70s, because I'm telling you, until they do something, they have nothing on us. We have stories. We got rings. We got, it's not all about money, So, but we played the game because we love the game, man. We had some great times.
Cool, man. Yeah. I mean, you kind of, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and go with what I have right here, but I think you've already touched on this, but let's go ahead and, try to get a little more information. So, it's well known that once a Raider, always a Raider, as you touched on, in the Raider Nation. How much does that mean to you as a player, and what's it like sharing that bond with your teammates from the Super Bowl teams? I mean, I think you've already covered that, but how much exactly does that mean to you?
Well, you know what? Like I said, once I left the Giants and came to the Raiders, I played 2 years in New York, but I played 6 years with the Raiders, and I'll die silver and black. That was my team. Because you know what? Just like with my Super Bowl rings, my kids know me as a Raider, not as New York Giants. My house is pictures with, me in Raider uniforms with Marcus Allen and all my guys. But I tell you, man, like I said, I'm gonna die silver and black, and like you said, once a Raider, always a Raider. And I respect every team in the NFL. I respect every pro team because, like I said, I know how hard it is to get to that level. But I tell you one thing, it's just weird how once you put on that uniform and walk out and you can just see it in other guys' eyes from other teams, it's like a lot of them wish they were written that silver and black. And then when you got an owner like Mr. Davis standing out there on the 50-yard line, it's just, because we're known as, the bad boys. What do you think the Detroit Pistons got their name from? The bad boys? Them dirty-ass Raiders. Just like Lynn Swann said back in those days, they're a bunch of criminal elements. The Raiders are a bunch of criminal elements. And they're saying, they say back in the day with Jack Tatum and Skip Thomas, shoot, they used to tell them, oh yeah, they used to lock them up during the week and then let them out on the weekends. So if that's how it was, so be it. But you know what? America's favorite team is not the Dallas damn Cowboys, the damn Raiders. Tell you that.
Amen to
So,
that. Of course, Al Davis was the one that made the saying, once a Raider, always a Raider, a reality. And we've all heard the stories of Al taking care of his players, and you've shared some stories with Al. So let's elaborate more on how you saw Al, and do you have any more stories that you can share of Al?
Not really, because I know the one little story with Howie Long is, I think his grandmother who raised him, back in Boston. I guess she was very sick, and they couldn't find out exactly what was wrong. And from what I hear, that Mr. Davis sent a private plane, picked her up, flew her out to L.A. or somewhere to the best doctors in the world to find out why she was sick. And that's the type of guy Mr. Davis was, you know. That's how he was. I mean, you know, if you're hurting financially, you know, call him up, and I mean, you know, he took care of you. You know, it's just how he was. You know, people look at him as just shrewd, you know, mean man, but no, he took care of his players. And once, like I said, you know, once she performed, he always took care of you. You know, and Marcus, you know, his son is seems like he's starting to, you know, take after his dad. So, Mr. Davis is, like I say, he was a great owner to play for, and well respected. You know, it's weird. The owners, people in this league, a lot of them might maybe hate him, but they did respect him. Tell you that much.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, this is a little off script. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but you know, you have so many great stories about Al Davis. And you just mentioned that Mark is kind of taking up after him. On my podcast, I've talked about how Mark is building his own legacy and repairing his father's legacy, because, you know, we all know the Raiders struggled at the end of Al's career. So what do you think about Mark Davis and what he's doing?
Well, see, I can't say too much about Mark because, I guess, I don't know him that well. The guy who was the closest to him, of course, was Cliff. So I don't know too much about Mark, and I don't want to, you know, put words in his mouth or my mouth to sit and say, you know, what's he's doing. But I still think that, you know, I think he's going to do. I think he'll be fine. You know, I'm not going to be worried too much about Mark. So you know, I respect him just like I respect his dad. So I'll leave it at that. You know.
All right, cool. Yeah. No, hey, that's perfect. All right, cool, man. So, you know, you've come on this channel, dude. You've done a huge favor. Thank you, Polo, for setting this up. You know, you know, guys, Odis has been a part of the Santa Maria Parade. You know, the Santa Maria chapter of the Black Hole. They have a parade up there in Santa Maria, and Odis has been a part of that. Tom Flores has been a part of that. You know, a bunch of Raider players, and of course the retired players, Congress, Bob Grant, and all them. But you have some merchandise that you would like to share with the Raider Nation, and I do have a picture of some of the stuff that you would like to sell. So tell the Raider Nation about your merchandise.
Well, real quickly, because I got to get out. Yeah, I asked, you know, if anybody needs anything, sign autograph, 8x10s, mini helmets, hats. My number one selling plaque is the 1983 Super Bowl. Rod Martin and I both signed. I got a Hall of Fame helmet that I got all the Hall of Famers that are alive on it. There's about 11 or 12 of them that I also have. That, you know, I started off with 22 of them, and I got 8 left. So, but yeah, you can look up on Polo's the website, and or, you know, you give me a call or whatever. So, and then man, you got to get me out to Houston, man.
Yes, sir. Look, I am the president of the Black Hole chapter here in Austin, so I would love to also get you here in Austin for a Raider event. So, but yeah,
Okay.
if you,
Yeah.
yeah, oh man, 2 time Super Bowl champion. I'm trying to get Ira over there too. I'm trying to do,
Yeah, man.
yeah, I'm trying to do some great things for the Raider Nation here in Austin, Texas, and for the Raider Nation at large, man. And I want to include players, club presidents, and I would love to have you over here. So absolutely, man. And I will definitely get the information out on your merchandise and show more pictures of your merchandise. I apologize for not being able to show every picture. They just came in
Oh, that's
rotated
all right.
wrong.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, man. I gotta run, man.
Okay.
But yeah, keep my number. Stay in touch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Will do. Thank you so much.
All right, man.
All right.
I'll talk to you.
I have a good one. There you go, Raider Nation. 2 time Super Bowl champion, Odis Mckinney. He said give him a call. He told me to give him a call. I'm going to give him a call later on, all right? Hey, Raider Nation, man. Let's look at what the chat line is doing right now. I'm pumped up now. I ain't going to be able to go to sleep at all, man. Chat line, the General's still around. Raider Moore, Raider Squid. Woo, what's up, fellas? Yeah, Polo, man. Thanks for showing up. Hey, Amy. Thanks for backing me up. Obviously, the callers all made it on tonight's show. Thank you for showing up in the chat line. You are now a moderator. So, guys, make sure you're checking out Amy's YouTube channel. Take Aim with Zags. She's really good at what she does, man. She knows her shit. All right, Raider Nation. Oh, man. I'm stoked. I ain't going to be able to go to bed, though, like I said, man. Thank you to all the guests. Thank you to all the phone blitzers. Thank you to all the chat line. I appreciate everybody's time, man. And as always, we get out of here with a message from the Violator.